double check just because you can never double check enough in life, I don't think.
Yeah, nothing worse than getting halfway through a show and then be like, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No.
Like, the second you're like in the middle of a show and someone just goes, wait, hold up. I'm just oh fuck. You're just god damn it. Like, yeah, guys, we gotta reschedule. We didn't get any of that. Like, that's just such.
That's why I love that one backup recorder I have, is because that fixes any of those issues. It's like one of those ones, because you can't always trust, especially when you got other people on. So it's like one of those ones you just, I'm saying they don't operate a recorder very often, so you never know what to expect. You always want to make sure that you kind of plan ahead.
Yeah, well, that actually happened one time. We won't say what show, but there was a show we were on, and like, do you want me to record on my end? Spencer usually has a backup recorder going too. And I go, no, we're fine. Even though, regardless of that, you're like, I'm gonna turn my backup recorder anyway. And then, like, halfway through the show, that fucking happened. Like, I got the audio right here, like, oh, thank fuck, okay.
That's why I never not record that. Doesn't matter whose show it is or whatnot, but because it's one of those ones. I hate to say it,
but Mr. NSA here.
Yeah.
Patriot Acts.
Yeah, always. And it's not like the Skype recorder that like lets you know that you're like recording other people's conversations. No, my recorder just goes in the background.
I'm saving this. We might need it for later. For what? We just might need it. You never know.
I feel like I'd be like Batman. I'm like, I got a contingency plan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we record everything.
On that note.
Yeah, hello, welcome to the OMO Man Orange Podcast, where we record everything. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunnigan.
It's one of those ones. It's like, an old saying that we used to have on the podcast, where it was just almost that thing where it's like, well, if you're going to talk about it, you might as well just wait till this recording. Wait for the podcast to be going. Let's not even talk. I just remember there was one time, like in the early days, before like we could, talk about something and then technically re-talk about it. I remember like driving back from like the movie theaters for like a half an hour plus drive. It was just like, we'll just be quiet. Just driving back.
Just sat in silence.
We don't want to ruin any good material right now. Wait till we get there.
Turn up the radio a little bit. Like, oh, the new Cage the Elephant album.
No, you're distracting me.
Exactly. We'll talk about that too when we get to your place. Okay.
We'll get that and so on, but yeah, no, we're coming on kind of a casual podcast. We were gonna have the old friend Austin J. Cook come join us, but then he got a little bit busy in plans, and we're like, well, fuck it, we already got things set up. You know what? We're gonna do it. We're just gonna go for it and whatnot. And plus, for me, after about I had like 4.5 days of like no power, no water, snowstorm galore, like a super California blizzard that hasn't really happened in a long time because California's been in like its massive drought. So that kind of gives you like, well, I don't have my electronic. It's weird. It's like the first day you're like, fuck yeah, I don't care if the power's out. I got this fat stack of books to read. I'm just gonna sit down and go through comic books and all kinds of stuff. This is gonna be great, And it's like that first moment's like fantastic. And then by about day 2, you're at the point where you're like, fuck, I'm just gonna play video games all day long. Charge the Switch, charge the PSP Vita, charge the 3DS, charge the regular DS. Like, I'm fucking set for the day.
By like day 4, you're just like writing by like candlelight, like, to whoever may find this. My mind breaks like the chain that holds a rabid dog, Like, that is a thing, because I haven't had that in a while, but I remember there was one time a really bad storm, and it kind of sucked. I'm not sure if we may have said it within like the 10 years the show's been happening, but there was one time you were there for like the first day or 2 of it. You used to work at a gym that wasn't too far from my parents' place that I lived at the time, and you're like, hey man, there's a nasty snowstorm coming. Is it cool if I crash at your place? And also, can you pick me up? Because I don't think I'm going to make it up the hill. I'm like, yeah, sure. And it was just kind of like a fun night. We were watching some Charles Bronson movies and just bullshitting. And eventually the power went out, and we were still just kind of like, oh, whatever. We could still just bullshit or whatever, And then my brother called me, who lived further down the hill, and he's like, dude, a tree just fell over in our yard. Can you come get us? Like, I don't think my car can make it down there. Well, you got 4-wheel drive, so your car can probably do backflips through the snow or whatever, which is everyone assumes that when you have, like, a car with 4-wheel drive, that it could just easily go through any snow. No, not the case. And then I'm like, okay, maybe we can try. And then we get out there, and on our way to walking to my car, a tree falls over in my front yard.
A big tree, too, not just any old tree.
And then we're just like, I don't know. And you're like, all right, well, I'm just along for this. So then I get in the car, and it's just doing that thing where, really going nowhere. Like, yeah, dude, you're on your own. You got to figure that shit out. I can't make it down there. Well, if I can't back up, how the fuck am I going to make it back up this hill?
Well, that was the first thing I was thinking. I'm like, the thing is, we could probably get down there, but we're never getting back.
Exactly.
Because that's mostly always the biggest snow problems in life is a lot of times you can get to one place, but you like getting back home, next to impossible.
Well, because the snow was there for a while and the power was out for a while, and I was going to say the next few days, like you went home the next day or two, but then like that whole side of the family, my brother, his fiance at the time, his girlfriend at the time, and his kids. Like, well, we don't want you to be alone. Like, no, it's fine. I can spend my so everybody was in the fucking house the same time as me.
Yeah, there's like that moment you had, like in a sense, like a week of the house to yourself because your parents are like, you know what, it's gonna snow, Ryan, so we're just gonna go, take a vacation. You hold down the fort. What? Yeah, the power goes out. Here's peanut butter in the fridge.
There's a can of SpaghettiOs.
I think they're not past the expiration date.
You don't give a shit. You know you don't.
So I remember it's just that, and then it's like, yeah, next thing you know, it's like, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna get all this work done, I'm gonna kick back, have a good time, and then everybody's like crowded in. Like, I don't know what it is, that people always think that like they need to like join you, like it's like, oh, you're alone? Well, you don't mind me coming, do you? And it's like, oh, I was kind of gonna enjoy some, alone time and just kind of hang out with silence and my thoughts and work on stuff. That's stupid. Like, you need the family over and whatnot. It's sort of the same thing when, like, you got to drive somewhere and someone's like, oh man, you need someone to go with you, and you're like, no, not really. I hate to say it, but I got podcasts and books on tape that I could always go through, and believe me, they'll take just as good care of me along the road.
Well, that's why we like. It would be like we would have like a movie night thing, and everybody would want to talk during the movie night thing. And you're like the person just sitting there looking straight faced, like not enjoying the movie, but super lasered in on the movie. You're like one moment away from someone being like, that's weird. I didn't put on the fucking audio commentary. There's still all these other people talking around me.
Yeah, you get to one of those points or so like that, or like anytime. The worst one is always when you go to see a classic movie in theaters and people just think it's like, on TBS in the background at fucking Aunt Sally's fucking Thanksgiving party, but yeah, those kind of things there. But yeah, no, I don't know what it is. It's like you get that power out and everything kind of goes out. And it's like the worst part is where I'm at is like it really seals me off from like society. It's like it literally goes like 1800s all of a sudden, other than the fact that they got some solar powered charges and like a generator. But it's like it knocks the power out, which knocks the water out, which then you're covered in snow and the road's blocked because it's Forest Service, so nobody comes out this direction except for people in four wheelers. And next thing you know, trees start falling and whatnot, and
next thing you're just going out there like scooping snow out with like a pot, and then you're just like having a lighter beneath it, like, come on, boil.
Yeah, one of those ones too, where you're like, yeah, because you got to collect water. At least I filled up water like a month ago when there was a snowstorm, so I had a bunch of backup water, so that kind of savors the cause. And I bought like a big old stack of drinking water, because that's the first thing I think most people don't realize. It's like, if the power goes out and you still have your water, it's not really that big of a deal. And so the second that your water kind of goes out because it's on a well pump, and you're like, oh, it's not going to pump water up on its own anymore.
I was in town for like a day and a half because we were up there for Christmas. So we got there Christmas Eve and then stayed Christmas Day and then bumped out early the next morning.
Well, you jumped out right at the right time because they get snowed that night.
Yeah, no, it was already starting to snow Christmas night, and it was starting to stick. I'm like, oh wow, look, I've never been here. It's never been a white Christmas for me over here. Then I'm thinking like, my car's not four-wheel drive. How the fuck am I going to get it? My new car isn't, Yeah. So I'm like, shit, that's not, oh, please, because, there's a thing, snow days and, that's awesome until you actually have to drive to work. When you're a kid, it's just like, oh, I don't have a license. What the fuck am I going to do? Looks like I have to just stay home and, throw snowballs at shit all day. But now it's like, when you get older, it's just like, I got to drive through this shit.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. So when you're a kid, you grab your sled, you hike out and you go walk to your buddy's house. You knock on his door, then you go get another buddy, and so on. And then next thing you know, you're just out hanging out in the snow all day long, and it's great and it's fantastic and so on. But yeah, I always just think it's like one of those ones like school. Okay, you got kids who let's be honest, literally have just learned how to drive, and then it's like, little Billy. I don't give a fuck that it's icy and snowy out. You better show up to school because that's the only way we're going to get paid, and we don't give a fuck about your car, your life. It doesn't matter to us, but that money, you better sign in.
They get like 45 per kid a day?
Yeah, they get something like that. So that's the main reason why they want those kids to show up to school. It has nothing to do with education or any of that nice stuff. No. They don't want to miss out on that those checks. That's why they hate giving snow days, because they miss out on money when that happens. Sometimes that's why they'll go extra in the year. So it's like one of those things. And then it's like always that thing too where they always to the school. It's like, well, I guess it's not, there's not that much snow right here. Or, we kind of don't think about the other half of the students that live up the hill. You ever notice that they always build a school in a flat zone that's kind of about as low in elevation as possible? I feel like that they have that thing thought out.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a reason there's no school out on Big Hill or anything like that, or
Well, there's technically there's a science camp up on Big Hill that I remember going to in the 5th grade or something like that, 5th or 6th grade, like one of those middle school era time periods.
Who's the professor? The fucking the guy, the inbred in the wheelchair from The Hills Have Eyes. What the fuck, it's like they have a science camp, Big Hill. I mean, this is very local. No one listening to this knows the fuck we're talking about. But just think Hills Have Eyes, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe tone it back just a little bit. Science camp up there, goddamn.
Yeah, well, but this is what it was.
This was Adam. This is Eve. They fucked. You're here. Science.
It was more hippie kind of that kind, we found this cool place out in nature. Let's build a science camp for the kid. That's more what it was. And
Gotcha.
And in 5th and 6th grade, you don't care anything about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You're like, well, I mean, the observatory is actually science, it's cool, man, but what can we build that will explode?
Can you teach us how to make an explosive out of the shit that you keep under the sink?
Yeah, this was probably the closest it sort of got, even though we're, I guess, younger, but this was the closest it got to being the Friday the 13th kind of camp thing. Because whenever I watch all those old movies in 70s and 80s, and everybody on because it's always back east, everybody goes to camp. I just assume it's because that seems that's not really a California thing. I'm not saying that camps don't exist, but it is not common for people to go to a camp for the summer, it seems in the California area.
I did one summer when I was summer of the 3rd or 4th grade. I went to a summer camp, but it wasn't for the whole summer. It was maybe for 2 weeks or maybe a month, something like that. I don't know if I ever told this story in the podcast, but somebody was telling stories about spring rumors about a hillbilly named Albino Bob that was the most notorious serial killer in the state, and he just escaped Alcatraz, and he's out in this because this is out in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and he's running out there on a murder rampage, and somebody saw him way out there on the and me being a dumb little kid who was scared of everything, I kind of believed it, and then went from being a few kids knew about it to the last day of camp. Everybody was crowded in in the fucking lunchroom, being Albino Bob's on the murder rampage, and then they literally had to come out and make a big statement, guys, there's no Albino Bob. The person you saw out in the woods, that is the groundskeeper. Okay, do you guys know what the groundskeeper? Let me explain. Simpsons. You know Willie. So, and then somebody's so I heard he has a machete and this, and there was one kid even told fucking this has to be the same kid who had to come up with all the stories about in Gundam Wing fucking Rihanna gets raped in the movie. Really? Yeah, and they fucking show it. If you wait a late night on on Toonami Midnight, they show that shit, I guarantee it. Kid who just come up with weird, fucked up lies for whatever thing. This kid was sitting I was sitting there tying my shoe, and then I heard a faint little and then a hole went through my shirt, just barely missed through this hole. It was right there. That's like a gunshot. And then like the soda can next to me got shot, and I just ran right over here.
Yeah, just kind of going on. I love that kid. Like at the time, you fucking hate that kid, but I almost feel like it's just hilarious how he's really got a very creative mind. But it's always like a kid who you're like, that fucking asshole, you know. At the same time, it's like if you just put that creativity to good use. But this is the thing I feel like in that story that should have broke it, but none of the kids got it. He escaped Alcatraz. Alcatraz hasn't been open for as a prison.
Well, that's the thing. He was so bad. He was the bottom level
American refugee that like wasn't gonna leave after the protest. And he was called Albino Bob because he was the only.
He escaped from Alcatraz.
Like guy out there. He's like, dude, I'm so Native American. Come on, guys. I want to join your peaceful protest too. Can I throw a Molotov cocktail? Well, that's not peaceful. Like, oh well, you know, I mean, it could be.
What if I throw it in a car instead of a person? Nobody's in the car.
Yeah. Well, there's a cop car. Can I just go take a dump in the window? That's peaceful, right?
Well, if no one's looking.
Guys, Albino Bob, how many of these things you? Well, I show up to a lot of them because you know I'm all about the cause. You know, I'm always there to make sure that someone's got a car flipped over at some point.
Well, here's the other thing. I just to go back. One thing is, people were saying he was naked, like he was just running around naked, like wearing nothing but combat boots. That was another part of the story. Yeah.
He's like, well, what do you have the combat boots on? Well, you know, I'm a nudist, but my feet are sensitive.
It's like, and it's one of those things like, yeah, so I remember being like here and like, you know, at some point in my cabin, all the other kids went off and I was late and I was just like reading a Sonic comic or something. Like, I'll be over there in a minute. And then I realized, I'm all alone. What if the albino naked man finds me? And then that's where I'm like starting. That suddenly, as I'm walking, suddenly nobody is to be seen anywhere. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm not even gonna know how the next season of Hey Arnold ends. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die. You know, and then finally make it to the lunch hall. You know.
It's just a real pale guy serving the fucking slop there. And he's got overalls on but no shirt, and you're like, wait a second. Where do you get those overalls?
It's like the guy from like Nightmare Before Christmas who's like, Bunny!
Yeah, pointing at you. Yeah, it's like really like, okay, other than that science camp, which was, you know, all that it kind of was, we like stayed there for like 2 or 3 days, and it was like put on by like the school, and yeah, it was bizarre. I'm like, wait a second, what are we doing here? Like, cause me as a kid, like I didn't want to go anywhere. I'm like, I have to go fucking overnight. This sounds terrible. Like, like I got shit that needs to be done at home. You know, that Second Genesis ain't gonna play itself.
5th grade, I remember there was maybe it was just something in 5th grade where you had to do that. Because I remember in 5th grade for a week, we all had to go to a science camp, and it was a couple of different schools in the school district all boarding together. Mm-hmm. And it was basically just, hey guys, okay, we're gonna go look at a tree. Here's some paper, you can fill it out, we don't give a shit, you know, and then like just gotta turn it in. That's all you really had to do. There's hardly any real schoolwork in it.
Yeah.
And even though I was kind of like, well, it's better than school, but at the same time, I'm missing Pokemon right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you think
it's
about.
Like a week's worth of Pokemon I'm missing.
Yeah. Well, I remember too, because for some, and I don't know if the science camp combined like 5th and 6th grade or something like that. I'm almost thinking it did, because there was this era that I remember my buddy John Garcia kept getting like every single time we would cross from like to the top part of Twain Hart School down the bottom, and from going back and forth to band, the 6th graders, I almost want to say, would always trash can him. They never trash can me, but they'd always trash can John Garcia every single time. And so this became kind of the thing, is that he kept getting trash canned all the time wherever he was at. People would just pick him up and throw him in a trash can. And I remember like this going on, and someone like was trying to like there was some, I can't remember what kid it was, but there was some kid, because I haven't thought about this for a long time, but there was some kid who was on like hell bent on like trying to trash can like every boy. I don't know. I just feel like some kids have some weird like, you know, sexual urge that they don't really know how to exploit properly, but they just
some uncle like threw him in a trash can and spanked him, and he's just like, I must continue this.
Yeah, and I just remember him trying to trash can multiple people. And I remember one time, because like, we had like bunk beds or whatnot, he tried to like do me, and I just like kicked him in the face, and then he like went out running. I'm like, don't you dare. One thing I'm not going through, I'm not going to be trash canned. That's it. I don't know. It's like some weird thing. It's like, I don't know, these kids just had this idea that, hey, trash can's going to be our new like fucking 6th grade to the 5th graders thing.
Well, it's also going to be like somebody probably saw like Dazed and Confused, and like we got to do that whole you know what's the thing they do? They're like spanking.
Well, they get
like
the
freshmen.
paddles and and they go out and Ben Affleck super just fucking see the guy who was doing the trash can reminded me like the Ben Affleck guy, like where he's just almost a little too into it.
Mm-hmm. Like there's some pent up rage there, or something else going on. Like, but at the same time, you said that like you kicked him in the face and he went running out screaming. That's one of those things. Like to be that kid, and I don't have any sympathy for him, but if you got your ass kicked by a kid in a grade lower than you, oh, that shit would haunt him for like not just for a few weeks, but for a few years. No one's gonna forget. Like, you got your ass kicked by a third grader. Fuck you. He was a fifth grader, and I was in sixth grade, but he was big for his age, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And it was more just like just one kick enough for him to be like, no, don't you fucking dare. Like one of those kind of ones. And just like, okay, man, I'll get John Garcia. He's smaller. He's easy prey.
Greatest hits.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Well, that's also like, sometimes there is that thing where that always is like, because now that we're talking about it, it's kind of bringing back flashbacks to that period. There's that point where their initial response is, I'm in a grade bigger than them, so therefore they will fear me. And when you don't fear them back, that's like, what the fuck? That's not how it's supposed to work. And their whole like system of faith is shaken.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, I'm not too sure if this person was above grade at the science camp. They could have just been someone who was trying to be like, okay, well, I'm going to get an early start on this trash canning, you know.
I wonder if that kind of hate. I wonder if that hazing shit, like, you know, like grabbing a kid in a trash can or whatever. I wonder if that is still a thing, not that exactly, or if like schools have really cracked down on all the like bullying to an extreme now. Because before it almost feels like teachers are kind of like, I saw nothing, you know. They must be egging them on to a certain extent.
Well, I always kind of wanted that too, because it's like you bring up Dazed and Confused, and I just remember watching that as a kid, and just that was like the first thing is you're like, does that really happen? Like, what the hell? Who's doing this? Because it's like, I never saw anything that was like that, where it's just like, oh, let's just go drive around and fucking, like, beat people with, you know, wooden paddles that we created in shop class.
I remember high school movies. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was a pussy when I was a kid, but high school movies scared me from wanting to go to high school when I was like in elementary school and middle school, just because seeing kind of like, you're in high school, this is the real world now, get ready for some shit, fucking Mario, Sonic, get that shit out of here, you know. Then like, and then like you're like, oh, the things I like age with me, so did the people around me. I thought it was going to be like, you know, first day of like freshman year of high school, just like leave the Mario shit at the gate, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of thing that you go, you know, when you're in like elementary school, you go, why don't they have swings at high school? You know, and it's like one of those ones. I remember like there was an adult. They're like, well, you know, when you know kids get older, the swings seem kind of childish. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this? It's like, you can't sit on a swing and talk. I mean, I get that that's what all, you know, high schools want to do, but like, what's fucking wrong with swings? Like, why are we putting down swings now? You know, I mean, who doesn't like a good swing? Shit, if there was a swing right now, I'd go ride it, you know, this second.
It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, you know, if we put in the swing, they're going to want to sit on the swing. They're going to cut breaks to go play on the swing. Their kids going through puberty, so they're going to want to start fucking on the swing. Like, really? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way it works.
There's going to be that one kid who just fucks the swing. Was there somebody else there? No, there's not.
We all know that kid, and then like looks over at the other teacher across the room. Don't we, Davis?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know, it's only my adopted son. You know, well, but he's got your same eyes. It's like, well, not fucking part of my family.
Don't worry, he's just a tax write-off. When he turns 18, it's out the fucking door. He can fuck all the swings he wants.
Yeah, exactly. But when was the last time you rode a swing? Think about it. Like, when was the last time you sat down and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go swinging? I almost feel like nowadays I'd almost be kind of.
I can't think of the last time I grabbed my jacket, grabbed the keys to my car. I'm like, time to go swinging.
Where you going? I'm
pull
going
up
to
at a
swinging.
local park.
Get on. I
Move
feel
aside, Billy.
like
Daddy's
nowadays,
got to get a swing on.
the older you would get, the almost it would actually kind of feel kind of scary. I bet going on. They'd be like, this is a little high now. It's a little dangerous. You sure your kids want to, stay on this thing? I mean, well, what happens if you let go at the top?
There's that. I would every once in a while you would just get ballsy and just like let go, like, and then like it would seem like you're so much higher than you were, and then you land, but then like you see someone else do it, like, oh, that's not fucking high at all.
No, it does. But it feels high when you're up there. Well, I also think when you're a kid too, and you're
Yeah.
like half height, and you're like a fucking hobbit coming out. It seems like it's twice as high as everything else. I remember the other big thing for us in like elementary school was the cool way you would get off the swing is you would do a backflip as you came off of it. And it was kind of a half-ass backflip because realistically you were just holding on to the swing while you did a backflip, so it wasn't like as impressive if you just like completely did a backflip, but it still was an interesting way to go.
And the kid with the kids who don't have the balls to do it be like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, yeah, it is. Like, how do you do it? Just skill, what can I say? And you're like, they can never know the truth, otherwise I lose the power.
Yeah, it is more like, it's like a mixture of momentum, a little bit of strength. It's not that there's not skill or something involved in it, but it is that kind of, you just sort of like hold on.
It's easier than you think.
Yeah, you hold on.
It looks way more impressive
Hold on
than
for
it
dear
is.
life until your feet are back towards the ground, and then you let go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, that was always the thing. Is like I just remember in elementary school, you just go out and you'd hang at the swings, and then you would bitch about some fucking movie you watched the night before. Because I don't know what it was. It was just like long ass arguments about like stuff. I remember there was one time this was the first time that I learned that TBS and TNT had cut and edited movies. And it was because I was talking to, I think it was like Thomas Giacchetta, and we're talking about Blues Brothers, and he was talking about a scene. I'm like, dude, that scene's not fucking in there. Like, it made it feel like he was fucking like some jerk off Johnny trying to tell me that there was like this rated R material. I'm like, that movie's like PG-13. It can't be in there. Like, what are you talking about? They say fuck in there like a bunch of times. He's like, yeah, dude, that's what they fucking do. It's like, and then I was like, no way. I'm like, I got my TBS copy taped off TV at home. That can't be right, And then once I realized, like, oh shit, no. He showed me like the regular version on VHS, like, because they actually bought it at his house. You know what I mean? It wasn't just taped off, and that was almost like such a big like letdown to me. Was learning that TNT and TBS that I used to think were fucking amazing channels because they played all the good movies because they were playing all like the 70s and 80s films on there, and then to learn that like all their movies were edited, it was almost like, as a kid, I was like, you guys let me fucking down. I thought you were so cool, and then you pull this on me. No, never again.
It is kind of funny when before you realize that, like, something's missing, something seems off, and you realize that's what they're doing. Like, oh, they added this for TV, that's why.
Yeah.
I think the funniest made-for-TV edit I ever saw was American Pie on Fox.
It's just amazing that, like, you think about, like, that movie is like, why would you, like... It's one of those ones like, what are you even doing? Like, that's going to be such like a cut of a film. It's be like, here's the hour-long version of American Pie. Well, why is it an hour long? Well, we had to cut out a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, there's like, I mean, aside from bleeping out the, F word and whatever other word, I'm just thinking the naughtiest scene in the bedroom. Like, okay, well, there's a joke where, I mean, you could still, the fact that it's implied, they don't show it, but the fact that it's implied, it's still implied. I forget the one guy, the least popular member of the American Pie crew.
Which one? There's
the guy that no one remembers. Everyone remembers Oz. Everyone remembers Stifler. Remembers Finch. Kevin, thank you. Kevin, yeah.
I remember Kevin.
I just, because you remember, okay, that's Jim, that's Stifler, that's
Oz.
Finch, Oz. Oh, Kevin.
Yeah.
Right, So... there's the part where Kevin comes into the beer, and then like Stifler like boots him out of the room, and then he chugs the beer without realizing it. Like, I want to say that like they didn't show him totally drink it. They said, and they just cut it awkwardly, and they're running out the room, and then he's about to drink the beer, like, and then they cut away, and then it cuts to him like just like vomiting, So this very weird, awkward edit, and then like, I'm gonna say this, not that that's ever happened to me that I know of. But how do you drink that and go like, ooh, come, how do you fucking know?
Yeah. Let's be honest. If you're drinking,
It tastes a little weird.
You probably think it's just a creamy beer. Like so someone brought in something other than fucking Keystone Light today.
It's just kind of salty. It's just like one of those things. Like, because he drinks like, oh god.
Which almost makes me feel like, has Stifler done this before? And he's like getting flashbacks.
Yeah, well, maybe it could be that. I mean, maybe there's a reason why he has that such bravado, chest outward, like, let's fuck attitude all the time. He's trying to hide the one time he sucked a dick.
Yeah. It's like, he was just curious. He was one of those kids, you know what I mean? There's always that one weird kid, like, when, you're younger, who just, like, wants to do weird shit, and you're like, don't ever come over.
Well, before either of you know what's going on, before you even understand why, it's just like, oh, that's what was going on. Okay. It was still weird. We were 3.
Yeah, you were 3 and you wanted to dress like Madonna on stage. I thought that was kind of bizarre. I just wanted to play fucking Tailspin on Sega Genesis.
There was... He's just been... I don't know why. That was like a delayed reaction. That was like a 5-point punch. I'd take 5 steps before I caught that. There was that he's just been bottling it up for the last, like, from American Pie 1 all the way up to American Reunion or whatever it was. Just putting in the front for that long.
Exactly.
There's something I was gonna say. Shit escaped me, but yeah.
There's almost something kind of, I will say, like, when it does come to like those, like the edited, like, for TV versions, though,
right, yeah.
It almost is like one of those ones, like, it would be kind of cool to, like, have just some of those ones to watch just for, like, fun, almost silly commentaries, just to kind of to see the goofy changes, because there is sometimes some stupid shit that kind of comes into those ones, or just like, because it's just like, I feel like the people that put that together, it's just like their key thing is make sure you take the stuff out, but we don't really care how good you put it back together, in a sense.
I feel like that now, thinking back on it, I feel like they know it's all a stupid fucking job, and they want to fuck with the audience. I almost feel like that's what it is. Because at the time, I was like, however would you... No, whoever did this is a fucking comic genius. There was, like,
Yeah.
going back to the American Pie one, when Kevin and I think Becky or Vicky are about to
Vicky.
Yeah, and they Tara Reid's character.
Yeah.
Then they open the closet and little Stiflers in there.
Fuck
and
these
he's like,
fuckers.
He says, "You guys gonna fuck, aren't you?" And then he jumps in the bed. Fuckers, pointing at him. The Fox version is like, you guys are gonna... His voice suddenly goes a few octaves deeper. Like, you guys are gonna fool around, aren't you? Freaks. Jumping on the bed, like, monotone like that. Like, I guarantee you that's either like somebody like, I got something funny, it's gonna look so bad, or it's somebody like, we can't find a way to make this look natural. Get out of the fucking way. I got this.
Yeah,
you guys are gonna fool around. Freaks. All right. Cut it. Get the fucking studio.
You know how we all get a Christmas bonus this year? We don't pay for stupid fucking actors to come in and do this. Come on, it's fucking dumbing it in. How fucking hard can it be? I've seen a few kung fu flicks in my day.
I know how to run this entire soundboard and all these audio adjustments. You can't think I'm smart enough to read what's on a fucking page? I got this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So then I think it's just kind of that, because sometimes it does blow me away when you'll see like why the fuck is there so many people like in there? Like, couldn't you just get like 2 like talented people to cover for all this? I know it like if they want to do a decent job on that, they actually technically get the actual actors to come back in and do their own dubbing in there, but that's few and far between, I think.
They've done, I'm going to come back to a bad example, a good one again in a minute, but they've actually, we're at that point where now when they film a movie, I don't know how far back it goes. It goes at least as far back as 2007. When they film the movie, they also film the made-for-TV version. Because I saw, I remember there's a special features on Superbad, and they would do 1 or 2 takes where they were saying the PG-13 version for TBS or whatever, which almost made it kind of worse, because the fact that you know what they're saying and it's poorly dubbed over makes it kind of funnier.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess that does kind of, I mean, that probably all came in like around the unrated era too. And it's also probably, it's a nice security blanket for, I guess, like a producing team. So if they kind of go, wait a second, we want to turn this movie PG-13, they can instantly do it, which I guess is kind of scary for a writer and director. But because now that they have all the material there, it's like, well, we don't need you anymore to come in. And we got it. You shot it all for us.
There's that.
Yeah, you know.
Go ahead.
And I think because also, too, and sometimes it's like, I remember because it would happen with like those unrated versions, because you know that they would do the same thing for those, where they shoot one version and then they shoot the other. But a lot of times I always felt like sometimes the PG-13 one was a little bit more wittier of a joke than like the rated R one was just more just like, how can we just make it just fucked up and stupid, man? You know, like, throw some titties in there, say how the guy's gonna fuck his car. Like, I don't know, man, we're gonna figure it out.
Dukes! Like high five. The other best one I think I ever saw was the Matrix on TBS.
Yeah.
And that was straight fucking gold. So there's the part when like Smith is first confronting Neo in the interrogation room, like, what good is a mouth if you can't speak? You know, that whole part. He says, how about this? That sounds really good. How about I give you the finger? He says, how about I give you the flipper? It's not even a swear word. And they like put like a water bottle in front of his finger or some shit like that. Like a photoshopped water bottle or something, like, or is cropped a weird way or something to that effect. And then later, like, when they pull like the bug thing out of his stomach, he's like, Jeepers Creepers, that thing's real. Instead of Jesus Christ. And then there's like there's the part when they go to get Morpheus and they're walking through the metal detectors and the guy and the security guard's like, holy shit, before he gets punched back. He's like, holy smokes.
Like, realistically, I feel like that job had to have been an amazing job. It's just the guy comes in and just has to dub over the swear lines. Like, that to me would seem like a voice acting like dream job. I know some people probably look at it like it was a shit job, but like, I feel like you would just get so many good moments that you could just lay some like kind of funny takes on it and deliveries.
Someone every so often they probably get one like, hey, like, you know, like they lean in, like, we got the movie for the week. Yeah? Like, oh, no. It's a PG-13 romantic comedy. Like, oh, it means I only gotta like edit out like them saying shit once or twice. Fuck. All right. Okay. You know, and then like, well, I guess it's an easy payday, you know, but then you get the ones where it's just like, we got something for you. Oh, do ya? Schindler's List. Like, oh, we're going to have some fun. For Schindler's List? Oh, just wait.
Yeah, just wait for I've been preparing for these deliveries my whole life. But it's one of those ones. It's like the weird thing is about like when they cut those movies. It always blows me away how they cut like literally PG movies like too. It's just like, God forbid, like, you know, how TV was so strict at some point in time. I mean, it's all due to the fact that it's for advertisers and so on. That's like the whole reason why that's kind of all sort of disappeared. I mean, I know if you turn on TBS and TNT still, you're still gonna find those edited versions. But I feel like that's almost like, I guess you would say, a lost art for, you know, some editor out there.
Well, I'm also wondering, like, do they even bother? I mean, I know they do. Some channels do, but I wonder if it's even as big of a deal as it used to be. Because now you can get away with saying shit on television during certain times of day. So I'm wondering if, like on FX or whatever, you know, I'm wondering if they just like, you know what, let's just make it easy on ourselves. We'll put the TVMA on it. We'll take out any nudity and we'll put it on FX at 9:00 tonight, you know, something kind of like that. I wonder if it's, or if like, you know, main channels even bother anymore with something to that effect. Like, you know what, they already got how many streaming services? Why are we fucking bothering?
Yeah, well, I'll say this though. Speaking of streaming services, sometimes you gotta be careful on those ones too. YouTube, if they on their like the YouTube movies section there, I would have thought that, you know, hey, it's YouTube movies. It's literally gonna be no different than like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all that kind of stuff. And I remember on via VHS with Wes, we were going to watch Boulder Ram, and I was like, shit, I can't find my VHS copy of it. Well, whatever. I'm like, I see it's here on YouTube. I got YouTube Premium or whatever. Like, I'll just watch it here. I look at the time frame, I'm like, an hour and 25 minutes? I mean, I know this is a comedy kind of drama, but like, I'm like, the movie can't be that short. Well, whatever. I start watching it, and I get like 20 minutes into it. And I'm just like, something just feels kind of off in here. It's like, I know I haven't seen this movie in like 20 plus years, but I'm like, something's kind of off. And then there was just a couple lines later where it's like, no, they've totally edited like every swear word out. Like, I mean, even things like damn and hell and so on like that. And then I found it back on Amazon Prime. Movie's an hour and 50 minutes long, so that means they cut like 25 minutes of that film out. You know, and it's like it's missing all the stuff where like especially like the greatest part in that movie is almost where like Kevin Costner runs out to like the fucking. God, drawing a blank right now. The baseball, the guy who makes the calls on all this stuff.
The umpire.
And he's out there, and the guy's like, I want you to call me a cocksucker. He's like, call me a cocksucker. Like that kind of part. You know, it's like, there's a big moment here. It's just, and it was just literally, that whole scene was just gone. Like, it just cut from like whatever happened beforehand and just went.
That's so fucking weird, because I know I've rented movies on YouTube before.
See, okay,
and they've had...
You rented it. I think that's the difference. I think this is the reason why is because they're also like, it's not like this is just for premium members only. It's for everybody. I think that's what it is. But it's one of those ones though. It's like it's kind of scares me that I don't trust any YouTube movies if it's just straight from there. Like it's one of those ones. Like I mean, it's different if some kid uploads it in fucking Indonesia. That's okay. You know, he's doing like the Lord's work probably. You know, and putting up something that we can't watch anywhere else. That's where YouTube always works fine. But like I feel like, yeah. As I said, I know what it's for. It's probably because anybody can watch it, so they don't want a kid's going to watch it and be like, Mommy, I want to go call someone a cocksucker right now. And then it just turns into a whole fiasco.
On the chance a kid wants to watch a Kevin Costner movie from the 90s.
Yeah, Boulder Am, which is like already kind of like a bizarre... When I was a kid and I watched that movie, I thought the movie was so fucking weird. I was like, what the hell is this? Why is this so popular? I have no idea. I kind of got it like 20 years later. I'm like, okay, I kind of get it a little bit more. But like when I watched it back then, I was like, what?
I have no idea what this movie is. I'm going to have to look it up.
It's the Kevin Costner baseball movie, not Field of Dreams, but the other baseball one, where he's like, you know, kind of like, it's like a Bruce Springsteen song where he's like this kind of like baseball player who just almost didn't make it kind of thing, you know? And so he's going to be like the trainer for this like second string kind of, or like a B class type one, the Boulder Rams, which are over there in North Carolina and whatnot. And then it's got I almost said Sharon Stone, not Sharon Stone. Fucking, that's not even close. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Tim Curry.
No.
Not Tim Curry. I
know he's dressed up like
Susan
a woman.
Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon. And Susan Sarandon is pretty much, seems like she's like a 50-year-old lady who likes to bang 18-year-old boys, you know, and that part's the bizarre part to it. But like, I think that's the thing is when I watched it as like a kid, I'm like, why is this old lady just trying to pick up all these like young guys? That's fucking weird.
Huh. Well, so it sounds kind of like lightly, not too much. Is it kind of like Slapshot, sort of?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but it's more like a mixed match where it's kind of like a comedy, a baseball movie, and then it kind of turns into like a romantic kind of drama, sort of like the last half an hour.
Oh, that part's not Slapshot. Yeah, I mean, there's relationships in it, but yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll check it out down the line. Maybe.
No, it's actually, as I said, the second time I kind of came back to it, I enjoyed it more and so on. But as I said, just don't watch it on YouTube. That's the moral of the story. It's just for some reason those YouTube movie sections that should be fine and dandy, they're still edited, which is just kind of bizarre this day and age. And I kind of wonder when that's finally going to go away. I mean, I know there's always going to be those weirdo parents out there who are never going to let fucking little Billy's going to be 19 years old and he's not going to be allowed to still go see a PG movie, and then he's going to be like a serial killer or something like that. But you know,
go ahead.
It just seems like we're almost at this point where it's like, you know, it's like, I mean, like, granted, there is movies worse than others, I guess, as far as like, you know, violence and content and so on can go, but it's at that point where it's just like, come on, like, fucking, like, I feel like people forget their 10-year-old self. Like, never forget your 10-year-old self. You know what I mean? Like, bring that fucking back. Like, just watch those rated R movies. Like, who the fuck cares?
What you just said, that kid who couldn't watch a PG movie till he was 19 or whatever. I remember those friends who had those super helicoptery parents. Like, I wasn't able to watch whatever I wanted, but they weren't like super strict about it, you know?
Yeah.
But I remember being at some friend's house and be like, we're just going to watch this movie. What movie is it? Like, oh, it's PG. Let me see it. They checked the back of the box. PG-13 for some language and sci-fi action violence.
Well,
Me and my dad are gonna have to watch this with you before. Sorry, Ryan, can't watch it just yet. We're gonna have to watch it with him first.
well, little Timmy, you remember last time there was some sci-fi action violence, and what happened? Yeah, Mom, I do. Is that?
And that's why we don't let him watch The Last Starfighter anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of those ones. I remember also being like kids and like be like, okay, class, we're gonna watch a movie today, and then having the kids just literally trying to bully the teacher into like a rated R movie. Like, come on, man! Like my fucking parents let me watch Terminator 2. Like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, let's just watch it.
Well, plus to be like, some kid would be like, it's a rain day, so some kid, like a bunch of kids just got a movie they want to show in class, and some kid pulls out a movie like, oh yeah, like whether it was PG or PG-13, some schools still had that it had to be G, could not be PG, it had to be G. Why? Because a PG movie could still get away with showing a nipple if it was filmed back in the 70s.
Yeah,
so
well, in the 70s you could get away with a lot of things on a PG movie.
Poltergeist is PG, so yeah. But that's still the minority. But regardless,
or shit, you can be watching Top Gun and they swear left and right in that movie, and that always used to blow me away that was PG for how much swearing is in that movie.
And the like, you lost that love and feeling, Hey, it's PG, we can watch it, right?
Yeah. Tony Scott filmed it in blue so that it's safe for our eyes.
It's like some kid will be like, oh, I brought Jumanji. Half the class is super excited. Jumanji. And then like one kid's like, it's rated PG.
Yeah, my parents don't let me watch PG.
Like,
my parents say that Robin Williams is a filthy animal.
Well, kids, you heard him. We can't watch Jumanji because
one fuck.
Tammy's parents. I'm sorry, I meant Timmy's parents can't let him watch a PG movie. So it looks like we have to watch Cinderella again. Oh, yeah, I know, but hey, maybe you could all talk to Timmy, during lunch. That's the thing between you guys. Teachers teachers just like totally provoking it. Like, yeah, kiddo, get that motherfucker.
Yeah, like, you know what? I can't directly make fun of him, but I can act like I kind of, misfiring some words right here, and you kids can take over and, run with it. I'm giving you some material right now.
Just want to let you know, kids, I can't see so good when I turn my head this way. What happened? Like, he punched me. Hey, class, did anybody hit Timmy? No? Oh, Timmy, you must have fallen down.
I'm trying to think in elementary school, like what would have been the most extreme movie we would have watched in a class. I know in like high school you get some radar movies where they sort of they do that thing where they do like they just start fast forwarding it through like, so like, oh, this part's a little like, there's a sex scene here, we're just gonna fast forward it, and you can still kind of see it just like, oh, okay.
Saving Private Ryan and Schindler's List, and then the bombing scene in Pearl Harbor, the director's cut, which is kind of funny to me because Pearl Harbor came out as a PG-13, but they came out with a super violent R-rated director's cut, and the whole like bombing raids. So it's just like, I could show these kids the PG-13 version, but fuck it, I bought the director's cut. They're gonna see some fucking organs fall out and see somebody firing a gun saying "cocksucking motherfuckers" like this as the planes fly by.
I always that's one of those versions I always kind of forget about. There's like that rated R version of Pearl Harbor out there.
I've only seen that scene because we watched it in that class. Like, I don't need to do Pearl Harbor again. At the same time, though, I'm just kind of thinking back. Like, that battle scene, the R-rated battle scene, does not match the rest of the Michael Bay-ness going on in that movie.
Well, that's the thing.
It has the awkward comedy and all that.
That movie, though, it's like the action in it's fucking awesome. Everybody always like kind of goes like, "Oh yeah, Pearl Harbor's just kind of okay." I'm like, yeah, but what's the action? I know it takes a while to get going. If you look at it like let's picture it's a 70s slow burn film. I mean, there's maybe a little bit longer slow burn than normal because you got to watch like an hour and a half plus before shit starts happening. But once like it starts going down, it's like Titanic. You just put the second VHS in and you get all the action scenes.
I don't know. There's that whole part where it's just a lot of the stuff when they're not shooting or when the actual story's happening, it's very like, Alec Baldwin talking to Josh Hartnett and Ben Affleck being like, "You remind me of myself. I know I'm a real historical figure and you guys don't fucking exist, but regardless, And then like you have the part where you have, what was it? The part when Kate Beckinsale is telling her friends about when she and Ben Affleck first met, and Ben Affleck's telling all his friends about the first time they met and how awkward all that shit is. And then they're basically almost kind of like, tell me more, did he put up... You know, it almost feels like they're like one step away. That's how that scene comes across.
It could have been Pearl Harbor, the musical, and then all of a sudden a bombing raid happens, and the music just fucking cuts, and it gets to a serious action movie. It's like South Pacific, and then all of a sudden some bombs go off.
Get me to a goddamn plane! Just super intense suddenly.
But yeah, it's like, as I said, like the war movies kind of got, because I remember even watching like parts of like Patriot and things like Enemy at the Gates and so on like that, but that was all like high school. And like, Civil War movies and stuff like Glory, you could kind of get away with, because it had Denzel in it, so you get away with it, But like, I just trying to think of like, was there something beyond a PG? I know that we watched PG movies in elementary school, because I just remember literally watching stuff like Jumanji and things like that, but...
I remember... As far as like the way it worked is, for me personally, until elementary school, till like middle school, it was only G. When we got to middle school, it could be PG. Yeah. And then maybe PG-13 or R if it was like a documentary on the Holocaust or something.
Yeah.
And then, literally, that's, yeah. And then high school, PG-13, and then if the movie had historical or less historical or like some kind of reason to be shown in class, they'd show an R-rated movie, which is funny because there was one time I was in a class and it was a very quiet class. It was just one of those like study hall classes,
Uh-huh.
Next door is it CHP where they train like people to be cadets and officers?
No,
and all that?
CHP is California Highway Patrol. No, that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If they I'll say this, if they probably had CHP like training at fucking high school, I think more people would be. I think you'd be like, well, shit, like, I'll fucking do that. You know what I mean?
CHP. I don't. Yeah.
No, it was ROTC.
What's the acronym? ROTC. How the fuck did I? Okay, ROTC.
Because ROTC. Whenever I thought of those guys, like, not saying anything wrong for anyone wants to be it, but like that, literally, I just think of like Animal House. Like that's what I picture. I picture you're gonna be the bad guy from Animal House, like.
Well, a lot of times they either looked like that or they looked kind of like, well, I ran out of room for merit badges, so on to the next thing,
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it was sort of like like once you became an Eagle Scout, here's the next thing you can do ROTC.
By the way, have you thought about joining the military too? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
pass this flyer out to your friends. Yeah. You going to sleep over tonight? Here, take a couple flyers.
Not that fat friend. That's just going to cost too much in basic training. I already know it's a lost cause, and the government doesn't need to be blowing money on that.
Anyway, sorry, I got on a tangent. I was in a study hall, and next door was ROTC, and I was just like, I remember one time I was just hearing, it was like very muffled, but it was just like, did I hear motherfucker next door? That I thought I heard guns and explosions and like, what do they want? That's something. And then I hear like, they're watching fucking Die Hard next door. It just suddenly clicked. They were fucking watching Die Hard ROTC. Like, all right, now what did John McClane do right? Not be a bitch? That's right. Here's a gun.
Well, what did he do right? He took his shoes off. No, that's what he did wrong. He listened to that damn fucking hippie that told him to take his shoes off and make a little fist with them. And then next thing you know, he's stepping on broken glass later in the film. So never remove your boots is what we came to the conclusion there.
Class, Rodney King his ass. He'll just start ganging up on him right there. All right, back to class. Back to your seats. All right.
You know
what else?
Didn't you guys feel like it was wrong because he was a black kid that we just did this?
They would have taken the time to answer that.
We don't see race. We just see soldiers. Unless it's the enemy. But yeah. Well, ROTC's probably
like a few good men up in this shit.
You just signed a contract that said that your parents will let you go off the war so you can watch a rated R fucking movie.
Oh God.
Normally you gotta be 18 to do this, but if you get parents' permission, we can put you in the back of a tank right now. What we do in the back of a tank?
Somebody...
Well, you're there to jerk the captain off just in case, he needs young, fresh boy hands.
To keep him unstressed. Help alleviate the tension. He makes his shot like, wait. They're like aiming, wait. No!
Well, why would we just put a woman there? Well, one time we did put a woman in there, but then he just felt like she was nagging him the whole time when he was trying to line up his shots and saying he wasn't very good at it. So it reminded me of his wife.
She was distracted.
But, a fresh young boy who's scared keeps him calm and innocent.
After he's done, you just feed him a carrot.
Yeah.
Hand feed him.
Yeah. He likes when you take the big ones and you break them up into little chunks. He likes the sound of cracking.
And so began the military career of fucking, I forgot his name, American Sniper. That's fighting words for a lot of people. I might get my ass killed for that.
Yeah,
I forgot his fucking name anyway. Kyle something.
Yeah, fucking, what's his name? Fucking Rocket Raccoon.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, there we go.
Thus began the military career of Bradley Cooper.
So is this what you guys all have to do? The military? Yeah, it is. You're not just hazing me, right? No, we're not.
Making look like eyes, kind of like not having trouble making eye contact, just kind of like darting around the room.
I mean, I really want to get into the role, but do I really have to jerk this guy off as he aims a cannon in a tank?
Hey, this happened. Didn't you read his autobiography? No, good. We didn't either. Yes.
Yeah, read.
Chris Kyle.
There we go. Chris Kyle, a.k.a. Bradley Cooper, a.k.a. Rocket Raccoon. But yeah, well, you know where you always gotta watch rated R movies? It was in Mr. Campbell's multimedia class because nothing but freedom existed there.
You call it freedom or anarchy?
Yeah, I think anarchy is the key word there because that's when like chaos and order goes out the window.
For people who haven't been listening to the show for a while, it's not something we bring up all the time anyway, but back when Spencer and I actually met was in a multimedia class, and we had a teacher named Mr. Campbell, and he was, by all means, the most patient man that ever lived. Like, he taught like the delinquent kids that were in the mobile unit on the edge of class in the No Child Left Behind program. He taught them, and they also, since it was a poorly funded school, they rounded all the special needs kids into that class right next to all the crackhead kids.
Yeah.
And then he taught the multimedia class. And the multimedia class is the one where he's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, the multimedia class, these like, oh, it's going to be perfect. It's just going to be a bunch of nerdy kids. They're going to want to come in and learn computer programming and how to do a podcast and how to, do web design and, maybe make a movie. No, you're going to get...
Wait, what was the last part? What was the last part you said?
Well, make a movie, that's what lots of us...
Can we make a porn? Can we make a porn?
Yeah, can we have, Jesus fighting, another guy and whatnot, and make it, a superhero movie, and, have, stupid cutaways?
And then we'll have, we could also do, we could do, a Dragon Ball Z thing and bring, nunchucks to school. Whoa. First off, we have to double check. We need to check the script first. Secondly, we need to actually... We're doing other things other than movies. The only thing we want to do, we can make a movie. Guys, we gotta make a movie. We're gonna make a movie. Everyone, movie.
Well, that was almost like you could just get the round table discussion of like we're all gonna do what we want, and that's it. Because that's literally what the class became as time went on. Because I remember, there would be like a couple of the other kids who would have like their solo projects. Like there was Kylan that came in there only to record music. That's all he was in there for, was just to record his own music. There was a couple other kids that had God knows what they did, but they did something else. But then the rest of us just
They
all
were
did
playing
music.
a lot of Gaia. They were playing that like
go
chibi
go
anime
Gaia.
game.
Well, that was the thing is in school, it's like, it sounds so weird. There's all those kind of things that I always feel like they're like the time killers or whatnot, that like, you're like, fuck yeah. And then it's like, and then you'll meet somebody who's like outside of class and they're still putting in like just as much time to it. And you're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're at home now. You know what I mean? You have like real video games and, real people you could talk to, like, you don't need to keep doing this. Oh yeah, but it's life's better on Go Gaia. Look at I got a neat little hat right here.
Oh, that was a funny thing. I remember one time I saw a kid. There's a kid in front of us that played Go Gaia a lot, I remember. And I was just looking at a screen once in a while. And, they're little, like, chibi anime characters. And he was, like, some, like, little bikini-clad demon girl thing. And I noticed he would, like, stop, kind of look around once in a while. And then I saw he kept on talking to this other, like, scantily clad anime character. And they were just sitting there talking for a while, and you'd see him stop and like look around, like, oh, I know what's going on here.
Exactly.
Which tells me, is that like a kid from Class B, 3 rooms over, or is that some dude at home like, shit, I don't got nothing to do. Yeah, I like Naruto too, and sucking dick.
You like sucking dick? Because boy do I love it.
Yeah, that says me, anime fangirl. What's the year she be born? 87.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what it was. Well, because I remember, I literally had an account on there too, but it was almost like the many of things I feel that like to kill time in class. It's kind of like equivalent to like, this is like nowadays, it's like having like games on your phone. Like if you need time to kill, like I remember doing like training for like 2 months, and I remember having like one of those games on the phone. Be like, fuck, we got a 15-minute break. I'm just gonna play one of these games on here, and so on. The second that training was done, it's like, well, I don't fucking need it. That was just here to kill time. Like, I'm not gonna keep playing it. Like, you know what I mean? I think it was like I had like that Jurassic Park game like when it was on there. I was like, well, I was just gonna fucking build my like Jurassic Park thing, and get my dinosaurs going and whatnot. But the second that I'm at home, I got fucking real video games.
Well, that's even like one of those things. I never really, the only online app game I ever played on my phone was Pokemon Go until I actually battled, and then I realized, oh, this is some. I thought I was gonna play like turn-based like the game, but no, it doesn't. So, but then what was the other thing I was gonna say though? Yeah, that I have so much sympathy and so much empathy for teachers this day and age. Because first off, when we were like leaving high school, that's when not even Facebook but MySpace was first coming up. Yeah. And it wasn't really, social media wasn't as big of a deal yet. And there's the couple of kids that had a MySpace, whatever, that sounds fucking stupid. And then like, it wasn't till like probably like 2 or 3 years after I got out of high school till that became very common. And I remember like, I don't remember. I wrong choice of words. My booze are kicking in. I just feel so bad for teachers who constantly got to confiscate phones and keep up with all the fucking like online bullying and all that kind of shit. Like, how many kids like fucking get into a fist fight at school this day and age over like a picture that got shared around or a meme made of a kid in class, and then they like, what happened? He posted a meme of me as like a minion. I'm like, oh, fucking goddamn it.
Oh yeah, because kids can't hit each other anymore, or any of that kind of stuff. So there's all these weird things, and it's almost like a teacher probably can't even confiscate a phone anymore because it's technically like personal property. It's like that weird like if the kid knows its rights too well, it's like there's like that weird kind of thing. I remember one time like a teacher trying to like confiscate like my DS, and I was like, I ain't fucking giving you this, like no way, and whatnot. And she got to the point where like she's just like, well, you know what, you just got to go to the principal's office. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just walk outside, and I just go hang outside with like the fucking security guard for like a half an hour and whatnot, and then just come back in. We were like,
and
and I remember because there's always that one fucking cunt like in class where she's just like, oh, no, just you're making this to such a big deal. Just give the DS to the teacher, and you're like, it's not your fucking property now, is it? So you got no stake in the game, so shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Why don't you be Switzerland and just stay the fuck out of it, huh?
Yeah, it's always, you hate to say it, it's always some fucking, it's mostly, I hate to say it, it's mostly always going to be a girl, but there's always just some person who just like, fuck, it's just like, whoa. What do you have on you of your value? You know what I mean? How about you give that up? You know, I remember I told the teacher, I'm like, well, if you're going to take this, I need something of yours, too. I mean, I was probably being like, well, like in a sense, being kind of like a dick kid, you know, with like the idea of like fucking like Rage Against the Machine playing in the background. But like at the same time, it's like, there's just like that inner like fucking twisted sister just like pumping in like your fucking, you know, like blood when you're like that young, where you're just like, not gonna fucking take it, no fucking way. You know what I mean? You're the fucking man, and no way am I gonna fucking back down to you.
Was this, I don't want to say real names here, because if it's the teacher I'm thinking of, she's passed. Does she have a similar last name to a famous 60s rock star?
Yes.
Yeah, I know a teacher.
But then her last name also changed at one point, too, if I remember.
Yeah, we're thinking the same one. Yeah. I don't want to speak, because that's one of those things, like, once you realize, like, when you're a kid, when you're a really little kid, you imagine it's like a tight structure. Like, if you were to, like, you think, okay, we got people patrolling around here. If they tell somebody, the teacher will automatically know. They have, like, a hive mind or something going on. And then you realize when you get to high school, like, oh, this shit is so slapped together. You could probably go over here, and they don't even, like, communicate or anything. They probably get too busy to even ask, what about that fucking asshole I sent over during third period? What? No, we didn't get nothing. Really? Oh, fuck it. I got too much shit going on.
Well, you know what I think also, too? I think the teachers also they almost get kind of go, you know what's the fucking easy thing to do? Just tell him to get fucking out of class. I don't really give a fuck where he goes, just as long as he's not here. I think it gets to that point, too, because, you know, you're just out there like, I'm just going to go hang out, you know? And if anybody asks, well, you know, I'm going to the restroom. Pretty logical, you know, explanation, you know?
I got so much sympathy for, like, so many teachers now, just because in case they're, like I said, having to deal with kids like on their phones all day, whether it be texting middle of class or like filming her and like, or trying to get someone in a bad moment and then make them look bad, post it on social media, do any number of things, you know. By this point, I'm just like, I'm so glad this shit wasn't there when I was in school. Yeah,
because that would have been tough. Because like, if we had to do that, one, we'd have to have a fucking real camera, which would have been like a $500 plus camera, which the average person just doesn't have. You would have had to film it. Then you would have had to go and upload it to your computer, watch the tape fucking roll for a while, you know, put it up on there, convert it, edit, do all that, render it out. Then you'd have to upload it on like fucking dial-up. So then you got that issue kind of go. Like, there would have been like, it's almost like it would not have been, by the time you even got close, you would have been like, fuck, it's not worth it. You know what? The joke already passed.
Yeah. Like, it took me 4 months to film and edit this whole thing, so it was on iMovie.
Yeah, exactly, you know. iMovie 1.
And like, the computer nearly crashed when I went to iTunes because it's dial-up, so it can't get there that fast on here. So I was trying to look for the proper sound effect. I couldn't find it because the computer kept fucking crashing. Nearly lost a couple audio files.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like one of those ones. Well, because like we were right at that era where like it's kind of interesting where we still had the internet like fully opened. Like when you went, because like they're just like, oh, kids should have the internet in school so they can browse and learn, you know, at their heart's content. Which meant there was literally like no real restrictions on like the computer. You just go to whatever you wanted to practically, you know. And then I remember it was like towards the very, very end. I almost even want to say like my last year was when they started having all like the lockdowns on certain sites. Like you couldn't go to fucking YouTube and you couldn't go that, and you like started just be like, you'd have to hit up a kid earlier in the day and be like, yo, you got a proxy to get around this? And be like, yeah, here, type this website in. This will get you to YouTube, or this will get you to Yahoo so you can watch some fucking music videos. Be like, good, I need some fucking videos. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this accounting class if I don't got some fucking tunes going. Well, what's accounting class to you? Well, accounting class to me is I put on fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and I play through Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's really weird how it lines up. It's literally like my Pink Floyd and like The Wizard of Oz. And if I don't have, because that's what that was it. Be like, you just sit there like, hey, it's a computer. That means I can download ROMs on here. I can play fucking video games. We can watch fucking music videos, and not get any of the work done we're supposed to be getting done. And it's also the point where I felt like teachers got there. They're at like the point where like, fuck it. At the end of the year, if we just let them do what they want to do over in the corner, it's just going to be easier that way. You know what? It's just like, you got to assume that there's that 15% of kids in probably every class that, you could try real hard. You're going to have to work like 15 times harder than it is on the rest of the kids. And they're just going to give you stupid references the whole time. And just let them go to their own devices over there.
Yeah, that's got to be a whole thing now. I remember I was one time in a like shared lift with two other ladies, and they were clearly both teachers for the way they were talking, and they're around the like maybe a little bit, just like a few years older than me, but not that far off. And they're going, just being like, and I got this one girl, she's so smart, she's so sweet, but she's just awkward as fuck. And it's like, I'm trying to give her all the textbooks, subtle hints of, I don't know, maybe every project don't incorporate your K-pop band you like so much. And I'm just trying to tell her, stop talking about K-pop. No one gives a fuck. You're the one that likes K-pop. And it's just like, there's no nice way to say it. And they just went on and on and on. And then they're saying, I'm sure this is all very interesting to the guy in the back seat. And like, actually, I do find it kind of interesting, So, like, I remember when I was a kid, it was like all like, Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. Like, oh, Pokemon never left. But the other thing that's even worse is fucking Fortnite. Like, oh, I believe it.
Well, yeah, well, that's always.
How many kids I catch playing on an iPad or a phone during class? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's always the case there. But it's that kind of thing. Like, I feel like a good teacher would reach through that into them in a sense. I always say that because I remember I had a teacher that was like, he would always he's like, hey, to get Spencer involved, I'll just make a reference to like the Rolling Stones or Warrant or Motley Crue. Like he had it down because that's what he would do, is he would figure out what everybody's into and he would utilize that, I mean, like, I like your speech. It had a very good Rage Against the Machine feel to it. You're like, all right, fucking A.
Like, he would like pinpoint everybody in the class. Like, I mean, Jimmy, you came at me like Goku throwing a spirit bomb. Like, yeah. And Jill, you came at me with like, bye, like Backstreet, whatever the fuck it is, just going down.
That would have been like, oh, that's not Backstreet Boys, that's fucking NSYNC. Like, oh shit, now I'm like, fucked up again. I practiced it all night. I thought I had it down.
Fuck! Flips the table over. None of you want to learn! It's one of those teacher meltdowns.
Because it's one of those ones, I will say, like, if you kind of realize if a kid and you kind of go, like, you figure out what they're into, it goes actually with even adults, too. You figure out what someone's into and you kind of relate to them that way, like, that can kind of go a little bit farther than when you're trying to, like, pull them away from what they like. Because the second you put any resistance against what they like and be like, hey, maybe you shouldn't put too much of this K-pop band in there, that instantly just puts us, like in their mind, they're like, yeah, fuck this guy a little bit more. You know what I mean? But if you kind of went,
but it was just funny listening. It was just kind of like, you could see she was trying to be nice, but no, I totally get what you mean.
Yeah, it's just like that kind of thing there. This actually reminds me too. It's like, because nowadays too, it's like, where we at one point had to use proxies to get past the website blockage and all that kind of stuff and get through there. It's like nowadays, once again, you just whip out your phone. You have your own internet with you everywhere you go. Like that solves a lot of the issues. It's not like you got to rely off like the Wi-Fi of the school. I remember because like when they put the Wi-Fi at Somerville in our high school, like literally like they just had it there for like probably like the computer, like whatever, like manager guy wanted it, and the teachers are like, wow, whatever the fuck this Wi-Fi is. I mean, if it makes the computers run better, sure, why not? You know what I mean? Can I heat my coffee up with it too? No? Well, it's only somewhat useful. Because I remember it was just open, and it was just like, oh, cool. I would just sit there, I'd fucking bust out my DS, and I'd play fucking Metroid Prime Hunters online with it during class, and I was like, dude, this is fucking sick. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess realistically, I'm no different than like, I'm like just the older version of like the fucking kid in the back of the class playing fucking Fortnite online, I guess, by that standard. I mean, I feel because I'm playing Metroid, I feel like I have a little bit more class, but is it really just...
I'm by no means saying like we're better as a generation. I'm just more of like, it's just so much harder to probably control.
Well, that's what I mean though. It's like,
well,
because I remember one time in like college, it was like I saw a kid, he had a laptop in the back class. I'm like, shit, they just let that go? Like, that's fucking sick. And the first thing I go back there, I'm like, he's playing fucking Sunset Riders back there. Like, that's what I would be doing. Look at him. He's a fucking champion. You know.
Now,
like,
can anybody cut back to the professor? Like, can anybody tell me the biggest difference between Locke and Nietzsche?
Because that to me always just felt like, I don't know, I feel like that was almost like I was more proud of like, hey, what can you get away with doing at the same time and not have anybody notice, like all the secrets to being able to like play Game Boy or read a book or listen to music like during class. I felt like I prided myself on like, I felt like it was almost like you're setting yourself up for like perfect like espionage training. You know, but like you know, because it's like I used to always tell people, I'm like, you know, if you want to play video games in class, actually the best seat to sit in is the front of the class, because the teacher can't see under your desk at that point. So you could set your Game Boy down low, and you could always play them right there, and it looks like you're looking at your fucking paper the whole time.
Or you're staring at your dick the whole time.
Yeah, that too. And they're never gonna question that either. It's just be like, it's best just not to bring that up.
They just walk by, they're just like, oh, fuck yeah.
Or it's like, you know,
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, oh.
You know, what gave it away? Well, when there was a fucking link cable between the two desks. Yeah, that
like a long form extension cable going all the way across the room that she has to like limbo her way under when handing out papers.
Yeah, you know, I thought that cable was weird, but I just wasn't gonna question it. I just was afraid it was gonna be that kid that stares at his dick all day. You know, it's like the other classic one always is you slap your backpack up on the desk. That always is like, I mean, that should be almost like the instant red flag for a kid's doing something wrong.
You might as well just be like walking into like a cop into a police station covered in blood, saying, "I did nothing, officers, nothing. I'm just coming by to let you know I did nothing. I spilled this on myself. It's Kool-Aid. We're good." And just back out. That worked over perfectly.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like it's the weird thing is with like the backpack. It's like that always was like a guaranteed. Like nobody ever fucking questioned it. Looked like you just had all your workout ready to go. You know what I mean?
And then they like, wait a minute, he's not wearing a football jersey. He's not one of them. Like,
he doesn't have pride.
He's not carrying sports equipment, and it's just nerd shit. What the fuck's this doing here?
I mean, like, I think I might have mentioned this on the podcast once before, but I remember with the DS and with all this stuff, probably one of my favorite stories ever, though, in class is the knock system that me and RJ came up when playing Mario Kart and Metroid Online, or on the wireless part, is because we were in two separate classes, but they were right next to each other. So we were just going through the wall, and we just came up with a knock system that was like, if I remember correctly, it was something like, one knock was like, "Hey, are you there?" And then it was like you hit again, and there it was. And then like two knocks was like to start the game up, and then three knocks was like to cancel or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it was something along those kind of lines. And so people be sitting in class, and I was on the back wall, so I just be back and be like, do pop. And then people would be like, "Oh, what the fuck was that? That was weird, huh? Oh, whatever." Go back to work, and then you'd hear another knock. People would be like, "Huh? Is there rats in the wall or something like that? Like, what's going on here?" And something like, "Oh, that means RJ's ready." Flip the DS open, backpack up on the desk, and we're racing, and here we go. And we would just be going, you know, playing games that way. And I remember because RJ he wasn't on the back of the room, so he had to have another kid fucking do the knocking for him.
That teacher got onto it, so got moved to the other side of the room. Didn't feel the need, like, "Hey, so I'm not sure if you know this, but these little fuckers are going some kind of Morse code shit." Right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is, but it's the kids with the fucking, like, you know, hammer and sickles on their binders.
I knew it was gonna be that little fucker. I knew it. He's a Columbine waiting to happen. Just look into his dead little eyes. Coming in wearing a fucking Motley Crue shirt. The other one's wearing some shirt that says "Hate Breed." What the fuck is that? What's wrong with these kids?
Yeah, we're never trying to. What happened to breeding love? And then I remember one time being in like a round table with like a group of girls, and we were doing like, fuck, I'm supposed to be talking about like Pride and Prejudice or something or whatnot, like. Like we were literally like what we read, and I remember because I was like, I got this fucking beat, and I remember I watched the fucking Pride and Prejudice movie at home. It wasn't.
I saw the Wishbone episode on it.
That would have been better. That would have been better because I didn't see the Pride and Prejudice, not like the Keira Knightley one. It was the other one that came up beforehand. That was a modern retelling of it.
Oh, okay.
So my facts weren't up to par with what was exactly in the book because of that version. And I remember sitting there, I was playing Mario Kart one night, everybody's kind of going through, and I remember one of the girls like, oh, Spencer's doing good. He's just looking up facts in the books. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking up facts right now. Look at me go. You know what I mean? And then at one point, she moves the backpack. She goes, he's not looking at the book at all. He's just playing video games. And I remember I'm fighting her off. They're like, no, I'm not going to let RJ win. God forbid he wins.
Well, that's where you have like
I got a fucking reputation to keep here. Yeah.
Elbow it, like abort.
Then you do the pound on the wall. 1, 2, 3.
I just like the idea of the kid that RJ had to teach the knock system to. If they're walking in, imagine it's also like a foreign exchange student his first day. Like, okay, Pilaf, here's how it's gonna happen. Okay, that wall, if it knocks once, you knock. I'll give you the symbol. You knock twice. No,
in his mind, he's like, I don't want to make the angry American Asian like. I don't want to ruin my chances of high school stardom. So I'll appease his knocking system. I don't understand it. I don't know what it means. Is it religious? I don't know. What do Americans believe in?
He's an immigrant, so he's going to work extra hard for it, you know? He's going to want that.
So it's one of those kind of things, you know what I mean? But it's funny because this seems like one of those ones that's like almost like the equivalent of where a modern technology is almost kind of like totally erased, and people go, what? Like, why didn't you just send a fucking text message? Because people didn't have fucking text messages back then, and if you did, you were fucking rich because that's how much because it cost a lot of money to text back in the day.
Well, also
a text message costs
10 minutes. This
yeah, and it costs more than fucking using a payphone almost.
Yeah. I never got into that. Like I had there's a girl I was interested in, and we texted for a little bit, and this is not long after. This is probably everyone started to have a cell phone by this point, but not a smartphone. I think this is maybe a year or two.
Smartphones almost didn't really come. I mean, you could get the Windows PDA, but once again, you'd be the fucking richest kid in class if you had one of those things.
The 3-com Palm Pilot.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. You're on there fucking playing some Minesweeper and shit.
It was more it would be just the simple flip phone, and you have to push a button 3 times to go through the characters.
Yeah.
I remember a simple text would take forever. So
yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't. No texting after a while. Then when the smartphones came out and you actually had a keyboard,
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's that sort of
phone lessons with Old Man Orange. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, so it's more just just the ways that you had to go about playing video games. I mean, it was a fucking wonder that we could play fucking wirelessly between each other with the DS. That was the thing. It's what? No link cable? I mean, I guess the first one is when Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, and they had the little wireless adapter dong thing that went on there. It was just dude, this, no fucking cable? It's fucking groundbreaking.
And that's where they're oh yeah, good luck trying to clone Mew now, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There's that glitch everyone exploited back when back in the link cable days, where if you where you're trading, if you pull it out right at the right time, you both basically get a clone of that Pokemon or something.
Yeah, which you could also just turn the power off, right? As
that's what it was. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could pull the cable too. Speaking of Mew, I just have to say this really quick. In playing fucking Pokemon, the new Diamond and Pearl and whatnot like that, there was just some old dude, which is just kind of maybe it's just he just blew my mind because he was just oh, you played fucking Let's Go, Pikachu. Here, have a Mew, you fuck. Yeah, my wife's got.
I found it underneath the truck.
Yeah, and I was just what? I'm it just feels I kind of thought about. I'm I have a Mew on my Pokemon Yellow that's probably a Mew that's fucking been slave traded and fucking cloned for days from some Pokemon tournament in 1998, and somehow some way I got the 15th offspring of it. But You know, I have one of those on
inbred and shit.
on my Pokemon Yellow, which I got like a perfect 151 Pokemon on there. I was always so proud of that. I'm like, it's a complete. I literally got to go to like the fucking game studio in the game where they're like, here, have a piece of paper that said you did a lot of fucking work. You know?
Great. Now get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I kind of thought
See
about
it,
like
gold and silver.
in like every other Pokemon game, like I'm like nobody just gives you a fucking Mew. Like you don't just get like a Mew when you're just walking down the fucking street. Like I mean, you might like at like the very end of the game, like if you really fucking work hard and you go through all like the hard trials and so on, where you're battling people that are like level 100, and you're like, what the fuck? You guys came out of nowhere. Like where the hell were you the rest of the game? You know, but yeah, I was like, well, it kind of like it's that one of those ones where it's like. It made me step back for a second in there. I was just like, whoa, I literally did not expect someone just to give me a Mew. And then I kind of thought, I'm like, you know, to tell you the truth, in Pokemon, I don't think I've ever played through Pokemon using Mew. Like, literally, the Mew that I have in my Pokemon Yellow is just one of those, like, fucking steroid up level 100 Mews that, you know, you just, you know, get off the fucking black market in a trade war. You know, but like it's not really. I mean, you know, you might use it once in like a battle and go, "Oh, that's cool," but like it's not like you played it in the game. And to have a Mew in like the game was almost one of those ones where it's just like, "This is fucking awesome." It would have topped it off though if that old man was like, "Yeah, you know what? You know where I found this Mew at was underneath the back of some guy's under the back of my pickup truck." If they just would have put just that little bit of text in there, that would have been like, "Oh fucking shit! This is the guy. This guy actually found it."
Well, like I was gonna say,
I guess
yeah,
it doesn't help that the guy's fucking like ancient too. So that would have been like, what does that say about like that? Yeah, you generation ones, fuck you.
it's just
Do you think in the future they'll just get rid of generation like the, you know, A B C D X Y Z, and they'll just start going with Pokemon generations instead? Like that's just what they call people now.
the next gen. Well, since it's BS possibly naming them, then we'll be like, yellow, red and blue. I'm like, fuck, this is what happens when, you know, so we get the scheme going. Well, now it's gold and silver. Now it's ruby and sapphire. You know, but,
well, like what I mean is like this is like what it is like instead of like, you know, kids being like, well, you're a Gen X kid, you're a Gen Y kid, you're a Gen Z. Instead, it's gonna be, oh, you know, you're a Gen 1, so you're born during the, or you started with the red and blue, and then like the next people be like, well,
I see what you mean.
my first Pokemon was you know Ruby and Sapphire, or my first Pokemon was Black and White.
I guess if you do have a game,
yeah, because Pokemon's almost. I mean, like, granted, it comes out every other year, so it's like you got a little bit more generations than normal, but still.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean now. Yeah,
because that's what it feels like when you get older. You're like, I'm a proud Gen 1 Pokemon fan. Damn it, and you can't take that away from me. They're like, oh man, we don't like your old rules and have Pokemon fight for like, you know, no reason but your own pleasure. We are fucking friends, me and my team, and we love fighting, and you can't take that away from us.
They're so uncivil, these old people. Plus, they only like the first 150, what is it, like 53, 52? I don't fucking know. They're all just, they like, oh, it's Pikachu. Oh, it's the 3 starters. That's all it ever is. They never talk about Bubble Flump. What's Bubble Flump? He's the grass starter in Gen 18.
Yeah. Well, you know, I try, you know, I keep up with it. I just can't remember them all. That's it. It's just, you know, it's like that thing that they say that your brain can only memorize over like a little over 200 people. Well, it's kind of like Pokemon. You can only memorize 200 fucking.
You're already over halfway there. Shit.
Yeah. That's what I sort of think it is. It's like that same thing that you can only remember like 200 people pretty well. Like, I feel like that's how it is Pokemon. It's like I've seen all these Pokemon. I've seen all like 800 of them by this point, but it's just that one. Like I'm never gonna be able to remember them all. It's just how it is. My child mind can memorize all 151 of them perfectly. I can fucking sing them off to you, but when it gets down to the other ones, I know who they are and sort of like that, but I just can't remember them all. I'll try to catch them all, but I can't remember them all. I'll just put them in the fucking warehouse.
Let Bill sort it out. No, I was
Bill doesn't
say,
work there anymore? Fuck. Yeah, Bill retired like 20 years ago, man.
Shit, what the fuck was I gonna say? So many tangents ago. No, I feel like I just beat Brilliant Diamond yesterday. Actually, not like all the stuff that comes after the game, but just the Elite Four stuff. You know, up to there. And yeah, I know what part you're talking about because when I first got that Mew, I was like, wait, what the fuck? They're just giving me a Mew, and they're at that point like, hey, you know what? You bought some games. You looked everywhere and you couldn't find underneath that car. You did all this crazy shit. Here, just take this shit. You already paid $60. Why not? Fuck it, you know. And then you talk to the lady next to it. I had no idea what that thing is, but I guess that's the sword and shield equivalent of Mew or something like that.
Yeah, well, maybe that was Sword and Shield. I was thinking that one was Sun and Moon, but that Pokemon, the Pokemon you get there was like you had to do something. You didn't just get in the game. Like you had to do something with Nintendo, and that was like a prize that like they had, kind of equivalent to like Mew, where like
what Mew was.
Yeah, like you didn't just get. I can't remember exactly what it was, but like I remember that being like, oh okay, I mean, like I was gonna say not Nintendo Power, but like a Nintendo Force magazine or something. I remember reading about like how you got it and so on. But
I'll say, beating it yesterday, it went from being one of those games like very easy till you suddenly get to the Elite Four. I'm like, what the fuck happened here? It just suddenly jumped up. Like I took this way too lightly because everybody else I was like always like 10 levels ahead or something, and then I get to Elite Four and the last lady. I was like, what the fuck? When did it get hard? But I managed to beat it, but without dying. But at the same time, it was just like that game would sometimes throw you those curveballs. Like this got surprisingly harder than expected. I feel like Gen 1 was a little harder though, just because it was still kind of buggy. They're figuring things out, and if you didn't start with Bulbasaur or Squirtle, it would take forever to beat Brock.
Yeah, well, technically you could beat him pretty quickly still with even like Charmander. All you gotta do is just get him to learn Slash, and then you're kind of good enough.
Slash still didn't really, for me, I mean, I guess by that point I got used to.
But you can literally just like muscle your way through there if you want to do it that way.
Just pile on the potions or something. I would always, my strategy is if I didn't start with Squirtle or Bulbasaur, I would always just capture a Butterfree.
Yeah.
A Butterfree. A Caterpie, evolve it to a Butterfree, and by that point knows Psychic or knows Confusion or some shit. So
yeah.
That's what I would always do. But if you don't know that, because if you look at those games, it is like good at letting you know, like if you don't have the right guy to beat the dude in the gym, go out in that area and go searching around. You'll find something that can knock him out, and then with some training, of course. And then like, but you don't know like, well, this thing's gonna learn a psychic attack, and those are weak to psychic or whatever, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's always that kind of stuff and so on. But it's like that thing. You really just need your couple, Pokemon of like almost like having like your fire type, your psychic type, and maybe electric one. You can pretty much almost take everything on from that point. Maybe a special one here and there, but you're pretty solid. It's one of those ones I remember. I think it was also like Black and White was also the one where I remember like it was like once you kind of beat like the equivalent of Elite Four there or whatnot, it's like they just had these trainers that were out there that were like, what the fuck? They're like level 75 already and something like that. Like, and it's just like, and I feel like they do put some of that like super kind of hard stuff like towards the end. It's kind of like the Mario thing too, where like Mario lots of times will like, like you play like a regular Mario game, it's like, okay, this is kind of easy, but then they're like, well, wait a second, you beat the game, now here's the super fucking hard mode. It's just like, oh shit, what the hell? Like, and now it's getting intense.
Kids went to bed, shit's about to get real.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking Mario late night.
I remember like I still haven't beat Black. I gotta get back to that one, but this is the first time I played through, and I think I said this, and I still stood by it. Not intentionally, it just kind of happened this way. First time I played through without a fire type, because I couldn't find a fire type that I like by the time I didn't need one anymore, more or less, Well,
yeah, that's the same thing, too. I noticed with myself, because I, like, speaking this, to tie this all around, is when the power was out, it was like, shit, I guess I should get back to playing some Pokemon now, you know what I mean? Like, well, when the power was on, it was like, I was fucking playing Halo, and that new Halo's so fucking good. It's like the best Halo experience since like Halo 1. I fucking dug the hell out of it. But once the power went out, I was like, oh, I better get back to my Pokemon now and so on. So I started going through it, and I had that same thing too. I was like, there's not really a fire Pokemon. Then when I had Mew, I'm like, well, wait a second. You can teach Mew anything. Fucking Mew's going to be my fire Pokemon then. So I just did that because then it's like, oh, there's a fucking Ponyta, but yeah, too fucking late.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's apparently a Growlithe in there somewhere. They didn't see that fucking thing, and I don't really give a shit for Ponyta, so...
See, I'm assuming my version had a Ponyta and your version had a Growlithe.
No, mine was Ponyta. I didn't see any Growlithe.
Oh, no, never mind then. So, well...
Yeah.
But, yeah.
My closing team was... And I barely made it out. I actually beat it with, like, only one guy left, which surprised me. My closing team was Torterra, that turtle thing, Gyarados... Mew, the Graveler, and what are they called? There's the shit. Drawing a blank on it. The mystical thing. The big blue mystical thing for that game. He's on the cover for Diamond.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like that one where it's like, I know we spent 20 hours together, and I feel really bad I don't remember your name.
D Gala or whatever its name is, and then then Sphinx, or not Sphinx, but like the final version of him, where he's basically like the lightning cat looking thing that's all blue.
Oh yeah. That Pokemon's actually kind of cool looking. Yeah.
That one's pretty cool, yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of funny though. It's like you literally could spend like 20 hours in that fucking game, and then at the end of the day, you don't fucking remember its name.
No, well, I usually name them something stupid just to entertain myself, but this time I didn't bother with that. I don't know. I couldn't. I was playing it after work, and I was just like, oh, I can't think of anything funny. Whatever. It's just sure, Tutora, whatever. I need
Sir Psycho Sexy doesn't ever fit in there.
It never does. That's the one I always want to put, but I just always have to abbreviate it and spell around certain things,
Yeah. Pikachu.
That was what I wanted to name my Pikachu in Let's Go, but wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah, probably do one of those things. Be like, sexy is an offensive word, so you can't put it in there because it's saying that somebody looks better than somebody else.
I got away with putting cock munch one. I'm not sure if I said that, but it probably like, he means he just likes to eat chicken.
I wonder, did you spell it differently? Because I remember, like, you couldn't spell, like, in certain games, like, past the later point in time. Because that's the great thing. The great thing about red and blue is that you can name them anything in that. You know what I mean? You can name them Nazi fucker if you want. I mean, you got to make it fit in the 8 characters, but you can make them say that. Where in modern games...
Shithuffer.
Yeah, modern games, they don't let you put swear words, or they don't let you put Nazi in there. They don't let you put... any of these, like, even like there's sometimes like other words that, like, it's funny how, like, you'll be like, that word's blocked, like, I can't say that, like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there'll be sometimes when you want to give it like a stupid name. Like, a lot of times I remember wanting to name just the rival, like, I always a lot of times would just name him something, but you couldn't like call him like cock muncher after a while, or you couldn't call him like, like bitch tits or something like that. They always sort of Like after...
Now I'm just imagining Gary with just fucking meatloaf tits from Fight Club, just like, hey Ash, and every time he points or swings, they kind of swing.
Instead of his, when he goes da 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 da, it's just his fucking tits swinging.
And he's just like, it's just like everyone's like, dude, Ash, he's got the bitch tits right there. Just go for it. There's so many things you could do. Like, I don't know. It's just his confidence. It throws me off.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like he's got the big bitch tits, but he's got 6 girls hanging around. I mean, look at that girl's fucking sucking on his bitch tits right now. Like, what the fuck, man? Well, his dad's also fucking loaded, and he's pretty much like, let's be honest, the king of this fucking like region.
That's the one time Ash is like, Ash, your Pokemon fucking suck. And like, yeah, well, at least I don't have bitch tits. He's like,
what?
Well, that's a real blow, Ash. That's a real low blow. Everyone turns to Ash like, wow, Ash, really? Like, come on, Gary, let's get out of here.
Like, dude, that's a medical condition. It's not his choice. He has bitch tits.
Yeah. Well, he's always talking shit. Regardless, you should not have stooped that low. There's other things to do before you go there, Ash. Okay? Look. Even Pikachu's disappointed in you. Like, Pika. Shake his head.
I always love when like movies try to like make that out, where it's just like somebody literally gets bullied the whole time, and they say one thing back, and then everybody like fucking turns on them instead.
It's always one of the funniest things. Like, it could be like a bully, like, just grabs a kid, puts him in a trash can, kicks him down a flight of stairs, and then all of a sudden, like...
And if that kid got out of the trash can and said, hey, you fucking fag, that he would be the one that goes to like the principal's office this day and age. Be like, well, Billy, we're gonna have to kick you out of here because you called him a fag, and, he's just expressing his homosexual urges that he doesn't know how to, properly deal with you. So he's stuffing you into a trash can, which later in life, he's going to be packing fudge into somebody else.
Do you get it?
So we got to be respectful of his lifestyle choices at an early age.
I guess I get that.
So next time he puts you in a trash can, what are you going to do, Billy? What are you going to do? Next time he puts you in there, and he starts stuffing you in there hard, and he starts feeling you up at the same time. What are you going to do, Billy? I want you to let me know what you're gonna do.
Man, Boy Meets World got really real near the end.
But teacher, he's trying to rape me. Well, you might call it rape, but in his eyes, he's just trying to express himself. It's just one of those ones. Maybe he just likes you, and this is just how he wants. Whoa! You know what I mean? Like, can't we just call him a fag? I mean, I have nothing against homosexuals. I'm just saying, like, he fucking is annoying, and he pisses me off, and he stuffs me in a goddamn fucking trash can. Well, okay.
Billy, you're being very close-minded here.
Here, I mean, you could smoke a fag, but you can't call someone a fag. Just saying. I don't fucking get it, man.
Here, take this VHS home on sensitivity training.
I don't know why that always reminds me, like, there's like that South Park episode where they go to like the almost like the insult like theme park thing, and Cartman goes through it, and it's just like it's like
we're going down the hall of bigotry.
And he's like, oh my god, that was so cool. Can we go through that again?
She's like, now you're gonna go through like it was like a black tunnel where you just heard like racial slurs and cuss words being thrown at you as you're walking by. Like, Carmen's like, oh my god, that was awesome, let's do it again. but yeah, it's one of those things. But Pokemon, goddamn, is it not always good? I can't wait for that new Pokemon to come out next month. See what that's gonna be all about. I'm going to be getting that one day one, definitely. I could say this now. Before a while, I was like, I think somewhere in our single digits, one of our first episodes, we did like, we're just doing a retrospect on Pokemon and just what it is. Like, well, you know what, I liked it as a kid, and yeah, the games were fun, but I really don't give a shit about it now, but it was a big part of my childhood, so I'll talk about it, whatever. And now I'm back at the point, like, okay, yeah, I like it again. I was being a little, like, snooty little edgelord that was too good for it, but no, I've come around. And I still don't like the anime, but the games themselves, yeah.
The games are always fucking fabulous and so on, and they always just put a big smile on my face. I don't care what anybody says, My
fiance got me actually a Pokemon calendar for Christmas, among other things, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I still buy Pokemon merchandise here and there all the time because it just takes me back to the good old days, and it's always fun to have that kind of Pokemon stuff and so on. Speaking of even those old retrospect episodes we used to do where we just like pick something and go with it. Sometimes I almost feel like it's been so long you could almost come back and do a new version of that and just see how you feel 10 years later.
Here's a two-parter we did on Sonic the Hedgehog because we almost spent a whole hour in one episode riffing on like Tails, like trying to get laid or whatever.
Yeah, it's one of those ones like that. That's like the Sonic one. Like, I almost feel like we could do another Sonic one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and go through the games
Maybe we
again.
Could.
Because I don't know. I feel like I got like a newer appreciation for like a lot of the modern Sonic games that I felt like I didn't have as much back in the day. Where I used to be like, yeah, they're okay, man. I mean, like whatever. It's not fucking adventure or 1, 2, 3 and Knuckles, but like. But like nowadays I'm like, shit, I almost kind of, I like all these ones. I mean, I'm not saying that they're always perfect, but I had a fucking hell of a time with them all and so on like that, and I'm fucking looking forward to that Sonic Frontiers. I like the idea that Sega's like, yo, you know what? We're gonna make sure I know we missed the fucking 30th anniversary, but we're not gonna pull a Sonic 06. We're gonna give it that extra 6 months and fix all those little issues, because that's literally what I felt like could have fixed Sonic 06. You would have put 6 more months into that game, or maybe even less, and just dialed it in just that little bit extra. Fix that camera a little bit, fix a couple of the little checkpoint things and so on, and you actually probably would have had a pretty solid game that would have been close to like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. So hopefully that Frontiers are going to get that little bit of extra like dialed in-ness to it, and hopefully it might do real well. Because I feel like, I hope Sega's at that point where like, we can't, we got fucking Sonic is fucking making bank, and that movie's like, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is going to be fucking like movie of the year next year. We can't fuck this up, you know what I mean? We got to like keep that fucking steam train rolling.
Hopefully they pull their heads out of their ass in some aspect of that. I mean, Sega mainly as a company. The guy, Ian Flynn, who did those Sonic IDW books and the later Archie books.
Yeah.
He he has a podcast called Bumblecast where it's mostly him, like, you know, doing Q&A and that kind of thing. And he is calmly and as nicely as he can always emphasizes Sega is such a pain in the ass with the mandates of what Sonic can and can't do, and you could hear in his voice, like, he doesn't flat out complain, but he's like, well, you know, it just gets kind of hard because, you know, there's a story arc where I wrote Shadow as a gun agent, and then, like, Shadow was never a gun agent except for the time he was in Sonic 06. Like, we don't count that anymore. He was never a gun agent. Like, all right, well, now I got to totally rewrite this whole arc. So.
Yeah. Well, I fucking hate when... I always hate when people do that thing, too, where they go, just because, like, a game or a movie or, you know, a story might not have done as well, I think it's stupid to take anything out of canon. I think everything should always be, you know, somehow, some way in that world. Even if it has to be, like, an alternative verse or something like that, it still should be a part of it. I think it's stupid to do that kind of stuff, you know?
And apparently they're a real pain in the ass with the mandates. So that being said, apparently he's also the writer of the game, which is cool. They finally got him on a game. But I can almost still see Sega. Like, here's what I think is gonna happen with this game, if I'm being 100% honest. And this is coming as like Sonic being probably my favorite game franchise. It's kind of like, I think it's gonna be one of those ones that comes out like, oh, that was good. It wasn't amazing, but it was good. Like, there was no major problems, nothing too offensive about it, but it just didn't return that it doesn't, like, have the same oomph as some other Sonic games. Like, I think it's going to be something along the lines of, like, not the gameplay-wise, but quality, like colors. Something kind of like, oh, you know, it's good, it's fun, it's playable, it's functional, but it's not that oomph. It doesn't feel like as big of a deal as Sonic Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure 2, you know?
Yeah, because that's sort of how Sonic Colors is, because it's like I got that, like, remastered one of it, you know, and I just, you know, I've kind of played it just a little bit here and there, and it's just like, I don't know, compared to the other Sonic games, it's just, there's something missing in that one. Like, the playing is just fucking off, and I don't know what it is. Like, it's that weird thing that, like, I know that, like, that's always something that's kind of a complaint to certain things, is where Sonic just doesn't move exactly right. I feel like that game kind of has that, where it's like he just doesn't move like how I feel like Sonic should move, you know?
He makes these weird wide turns. He just can't turn normally.
Well, he does that, and then he just jumps, like, because I almost just don't like those 2.5D modes, like in a lot of the Sonic games, like, as time goes on, and he jumps funny in that. Like, I don't know what it is. He jumps weird in there, and that's what throws me off.
Loses momentum, kind of.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not a bad game. It's just like, well, that, and it's also, it's like Sonic for, like, 5-year-olds, it kind of feels like. It's like, where are we going today? The Happy Krusty, like, bakery shop. You're like, why? Well, next we're gonna go to the ice cream parlor and get sprinkles. And you're like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it sounds weird. The older I get, like, the more I can, like, take. I'm, like, actually more fine of kiddier stuff. It sounds weird. It's like when you're in, like, your, like, 20s, you're at that point where you're like, fuck, man, it's gotta be fucking hardcore. It's gotta be, like, adult as fuck, or else it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's gonna be hard for me to get into it. And then I feel like when I get older, you know, I almost feel like I actually kind of like things that are more, like, youthful. And it's like a weird thing where it's like, yeah, I like things that make me feel like I'm a 10-year-old again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Like, it's almost like where I feel like I can appreciate certain animes where, like, in, like the 2000s, you'd be like, oh, I don't know, it's just fucking some high school. It's like, I mean, I know I liked it when I was a kid, but it's really just about a bunch of high schoolers or a bunch of, like, teenagers and so on. You get older, like, oh, no, I don't really mind. It's kind of fun looking at the... See, I wish I was a teenage girl on an adventure right now.
It's kind of a case-by-case basis on the show. I get you.
It's like one of those ones where it's just like, you know, sure, I get it. Like, I wish I was Kagome and Inuyasha. That would be fine for me. I don't see why she has to go back and fucking worry about her studies, because that's something that always drives me up the wall and that kind of stuff. It's like, you get to go to a fucking fancy world, and then you got to go back for that fucking test. Fuck that shit. That's no different than that fucking kid who would say that, like, hey, if I had an X-Wing, I'd fly it to school every day. Be like, if I had a fucking X-Wing, I would show up, drop a bomb off at your fucking house, and then fly into space and never see you again.
Teacher, he said he's gonna blow up my house with an X-Wing. I go to the principal and I'll tell him what you said. But no, like, I'll say, just going back to Sonic for a second. I get what you mean. There is that whole thing about when you're older, you're like, well, I need to start treating this stuff a little bit more older, a little bit more seriously, and then you get and then you kind of get more open to, like, younger stuff again. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, me getting into Pokemon kind of again, you know? But at the same time, there is that level of, like, Well, because of that, I think I never really got into Kirby. I'll check out this new Kirby game coming out, but like I never really got into like something that's overly. I mean, I guess Super Mario has a super kiddish aesthetic, but at the same time, it kind of aged with its audience, so people kind of kept coming back to it. But Sonic specifically, I just want to say this: I feel like even if the game is good, I feel like when Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 came out, it felt like a big fucking deal. And you look at, like, I said this on an Octorok Talk episode not too long ago, but around when they showed the Sonic trailer, when you look at the covers of Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2, they look kind of stylish. They don't look like they have this grand epicness, but they look like something different, and something different, but still something Sonic-oriented, and it felt like a big deal.
And it was.
And it was, yes. And whether if you like those games now or you think they hold up as regardless, at the time, they were real good games and really successful, and I still like those.
Yeah, they hold a lot to me.
And then you get to Sonic Heroes, and that one feels more of kind of like, we're just having fun, we're just going with it. Like, you're playing the same levels, and okay, well, whatever. And then you play Shadow, and like, it's just a weird, edgy little spin-off game. Then Sonic 06 felt like it was trying to be big again, but then that face planted, and ever since then, every Sonic game that comes out doesn't feel that big. Like, Forces felt super just like, okay, you're trying to, for his anniversary, you're trying to bring in all these different characters and all these different villains, and they're not really there, it's an illusion or whatever. But you're trying to do this like Robotnik already won. The world's already taken over, and it has like a 3-hour or 4-hour campaign that's very easy and very like just reusing the same models over and over. Like, oh no, it's not really Chaos or it's not really Metal Sonic. They're like illusions of them. That gives us an excuse to use the same character over 100 times in this one fight scene.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, it's like Sonic Forces. That one, because that one plays just like how Sonic Colors does. I don't know what it is. Like those two games, like they must use the same like similar engine or something like that, because they both kind of feel slightly off. Like they're not bad, but they're just kind of off. Where it's like it is that thing. It's like when I went back and played Sonic 06, it's like when you look at like all the good in that game, like is almost kind of mind blowing. Like those fucking cutscenes in it, like I feel like they stand out today. Like they're so like the graphics are so fucking good. It looks like a fucking Final Fantasy game, like graphics wise. Like it's solid as fuck, you know. And when the game plays right, it does play really good. It's got just the weird jacked up stuff in between that can kind of like fucking hinder you and frustrate you, and you know, weird stuff like that. But it's like that game was, as I said, that game just. I'm so glad that they're doing that with Sonic Frontiers. They're giving it the extra 6 months, because that's literally all that Sonic 06 I think needed. If it just had a fine tuning, that game could have been a pretty good. You know, that I think it could have been equivalent to almost like being literally Sonic Adventure 3. You know, and you would have been like, yeah, that game fits right in line with that. You know. But
some things about it. Oh, go ahead.
I think it's just missing that fine tuning. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to make it like a pure 4 out of 4 perfect game or whatnot, but that would have just gave it just that. Yeah, you know, that's a pretty solid experience.
Well, there's like some things about it that just seem kind of like somewhat slapped together from the get-go. Like they wanted to do this, but then they weren't given enough money, so they had to work around it. Like Shadow, like they did this thing with Shadow from Sonic. And it was like, okay, he moved fast, but he just wasn't exactly as fast. And then there'll be those missions where he comes in like on a warthog or like a militarized like glider thing or like a jet or something like that, which is like, okay, so you're giving him different variation, more of an emphasis on combat, but okay, whatever. But some of those things would be super clunky and kind of not really made for the level. You can see they retroactively just plopped that thing into a level, like figure it out. And maybe he realized he can't make the jump in this thing and he has to jump out of it, then jump out. Like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah, it's like they kind of have like some of that extra, like it's that kind of classic thing. Focus hard on just the Sonic the Hedgehog part, you know, get that really dialed in and tuned up. And I always feel like every character should play like Sonic. I don't give a fuck if it's Tails, Knuckles. Like, you know, they all have their own abilities, but they should all play just as fast as Sonic. If they don't play all as fast as him, I feel like something's kind of off, you know? Like
Sonic also just had those levels that were just ridiculously hard to control when he's like moving like at Mach speed, and you jump but you lose control of him when he jumps, and you don't know where he's gonna land because you never played the level before.
Yeah, or the ones that were like the most like toughest ones in that experience of going through that game was the ones where like you're running at like Mach speed, but if you trip over something, you fucking die. I don't know why you die for tripping over stuff.
Yeah, there's that thing where he's like just rolling, like and just keeps on rolling.
Yeah, it's just like what, like, you know, I get like maybe the tripping slows me down, but why am I dying from this like that? And that was always the scary part, because you get there and be like, no, I got 3 fucking lives. I gotta fucking make it through here, because the first 2/3 of this level were already kind of like a pain in the ass, and that's just the thing. It's just those small things like that. If all that stuff is just ironed out just a little bit, I think that game could have been a pretty solid one. Like, that's one of those ones that people never like to put money into this, but I really would. It'd be nice to see someone just go like, hey, let's go back and sort of just like, and kind of like a remaster, but instead of just remastering like the graphics, you go, let's dial the gameplay in. And just fix those small things. It's like, let's be honest, I know that one fucking, no one nerd in a fucking basement can do it. Like, so what's your fucking excuse, Sega? Like, come on, just get your own, personal nerd and get him to fucking fix all this shit.
I think some aspects of Sega, and I don't want to just be like USA, USA, but I hear a lot of the like annoying decisions that piss us off is Sega of Japan, and they're just very like bullheaded and just very much like, this is how we're gonna do shit. And then American Sega is a little bit more like, well, guys, we've actually been talking to people. We run the Twitter, this and that. Like, shut the fuck up. Now, I don't know if that's the case, but that's just what I've heard a couple of times.
Well, and sadly, that's ever since because it's the weird thing about Sega is it's originally it's made by an American, but then it went to like Japanese. It's just like such a bizarre thing. But like, that's like the problems that Sega ran through all in the 90s is that they never listened to like the Americans or the Europeans. Well, nobody listens to the fucking Europeans when it comes to video games, but but like that's the thing is like they always just like, Japan knows best. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I know you're in America, and I know you dropped the the H-bomb on us, but Father Japan knows best. That like it's always been kind of like that. Like, and that's kind of like what sort of screwed over some of the other systems, and like the 90s and the Big Bang era and all that kind of stuff. Is that like yeah, it's where they just didn't listen, and it's just like it kind of that's almost what got fucking Sega in the hole and so on like that. And I mean, it's easy to like sort of armchair explain how you could fix this stuff. A lot of times those things don't seem like prevalent or like stand out until like it's already been too long. But it's like one of those ones. I just feel like just give that open mind. I don't know if like what happened. Like it's just like everybody in Japan got kind of like scared and they're just like, you know what, we just got to play the safe game. Like what? Like if you don't play, like if you got to play a little bit loose and reckless here and there. It's like that equivalent of like making movies where like, hey, one movie out of 10 has to be a hit, and then the other 9 can be all like our experimental stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like what was the example I was going to make? What was the example you made before the movie thing?
For Sega?
For Sega, yeah. What was the example you made?
Oh, I was just talking about how, like, in the 90s, how, like, that was the same thing that happened, too, is that, like, America kind of had ideas for doing stuff, and they got kind of shut down over and over and over again, and that's kind of, like, what sort of killed, like, Sega. That's even, like, with the Saturn and so on like that and so on. They had these ideas of releasing stuff, and they're like, no, that's going to be dumb. Like, can't do that, and all that stuff. And like a lot of times America's idea was like was the one to put Sonic the Hedgehog in the US to literally come with the Sega Genesis itself, and just to really help sell the system.
I had a point a second ago, I lost it. But on that same note, Sega was they were the ones who are being like, we do what Nintendo don't, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, no, it's not the other way around. Now it's you guys are paying rent to the plumber.
Yeah, well, that's...
And not only that, but they're also you're on his streaming service now, and you're also copying what like his neighbor, the Elf Boy, does.
Yeah, well, it's like that thing. It's kind of funny that like you can literally go to Nintendo.com and buy a Sega Genesis controller, an official Sega Genesis Nintendo controller. That's just like kind of mind blowing. But
I just imagine like how that deal went down. Like we all like it probably went down cordially, but I like the idea of like longtime rivals from back in the 90s kind of come into a room, like armed guards by both of them. They just slowly like reach out a hand and like shake, and like Nintendo of course is the firmer grip. Like, yeah, I've been working out since the 90s. Been a while, man. How you doing? Good. Just like nothing but stern stares.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's gonna be kind of interesting too, because it's funny with like the Sonic Frontiers. It literally is doing like what you said like a couple of years ago. You're like, if I just want to see Sonic the Hedgehog just like Breath of the Wild, and it's like, oh, that's literally what they're going with.
And I feel bad because the thing is, I didn't mean literally like Breath of the Wild. I meant just, something.
I mean that kind of gameplay style where it's like, hey, you're Sonic and you just start running in any direction you feel like.
Well, I feel like this way you don't have to worry about, because, they started making the levels super short, too short to enjoy, just because you're basically making a roller coaster track, where if you just give him a world where he's able to run around, I'm more for that. I'm just like, it looks a lot like Breath of the Wild, though. I thought it was going to be like checkered hills and shit like that, like stuff from Sonic games, and it still looks like it could be a good game, but we haven't seen like official gameplay. We've only seen like game footage of like the environments. We haven't seen him like fight or run in the actual engine yet. But I remember the point I was going to make. You mentioned something about like, some nerd doing it in their like computer in the basement and coming up with a better game. The thing is always like you mentioned about arm sharing. The thing about that is, even though I'm totally on your side, you sometimes forget there's the stupid things like, oh well, we don't have the patent to this engine, where if we were to use like this engine this guy's using over here, which is available for free for whatever reason, then we'd have to pay this much money, which would make the game this much more expensive. Like, oh fuck. So that means they always have to create their own engine, where imagine what they could do like an Unreal Engine or something like that.
Yeah, the only thing I just don't like about the Unreal Engine, even though I know it looks good, is it makes all the games look kind of the same. Because whenever you see, like, you start a new game up and it pops up the Unreal Engine, I hate to say it, and I know it sounds like such a thing, but it's like, it makes them always look the same. Like, that's the only thing I don't really like about it. I kind of like when people do create their own engines, like back in the day. I mean, I know it's like it's easier just to license out an engine from somebody else. I'm not putting the Unreal Engine down because I mean, like, tons of great games are in that, son. But it always does. It's like every kind of game you sort of play in the Unreal Engine, it's like it all has that same, like, it's almost like they all came from like the same like world. I mean, technically they did, but you know what? It has like that weird feel to it.
That, but at the same time, I guess in like a different kind of design or character. I mean, the lighting, I get what you definitely mean with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those. I mean, the example I always used to use back in the day was that, like, it's like when you play Gears of War and Batman Arkham Asylum, it's like they both like feel like it's like, I mean, they're in the same engine, so I guess that's why it feels kind of like identical in a weird way. But like it has that same kind of feel. They're completely different games, of course, but like it has that thing. It's one of those ones that's like I think that's where I liked in like the way olden days when everybody created their own engines. It made games feel and play really unique from each other, which I always thought was kind of cool. And granted, everybody's experimenting at that time period, like in the 90s, because nobody knows exactly what it is yet, but it made for, I think, a more unique world for each different game to kind of feel completely different from the next. And then they all sort of kind of came together in the 2000s, and it's not, I mean, I get it. Like they kind of, it's like many of things in life. You kind of find what works technically the best and you kind of go with it. But that doesn't mean that there's not some creative choices that make things kind of interesting too. But yeah, I mean, Sonic having to kind of have that, I mean, you could just kind of go with that and make it sort of simple. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird because it's like you got a big company. It's like, obviously, if you're an indie company and you can fucking license out the Unreal Engine, I don't see why Sega can't if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, well, it's also maybe they have to pay a higher premium because they're Sega and there's something to that effect. We have this many employees or whatever. But
yeah.
Just a shot in the dark. But the other thing about that, I don't need like Unreal Engine exactly, but I'm just, clearly they've been making their own games on their own engines for a while. And as of recently isn't 10 years, it's those kind of run together and they don't always look that great or play that great. So it's like, maybe you guys should just bite the bullet and fine. Doesn't have to be Unreal, but just something,
Yeah, just get it sort of like, I don't know, a little bit more dialed in. As I said, like
they don't pop as much as they used to. They look a lot more flat and a lot more just kind of there,
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I still enjoy pretty much the majority of like the Sonic the Hedgehog games. It's like, but yeah, it's one of those ones. I feel like they just gotta. Hopefully, I feel this Frontiers one's just gonna. It's gonna be the cool one that's gonna be finally like, oh, here's a pretty solid, nice, different Sonic game, but it still feels totally classic, but plays well and everything like that. It's just gotta be, if it was just like, it doesn't have to be a perfect game because it's like it's Sonic. You almost don't expect perfect from them, but if it's just close, give me like Sonic Adventure 1 or 2 kind of close. Okay.
Yeah. So somebody put out like this this video essay on how they would redesign Sonic, like I am by no means looking to offend current fans, but I used to love Sonic the Hedgehog as a wee lad, but now it just doesn't speak to me and doesn't speak to many people, so I recommend a full design reboot, and this is how I would recommend you do it. And, it's like, I'm looking at it and like, oh, this all seems a little too art schooly for me. But at the same time, you could see the guy wasn't going in like, hey man, your shit sucks. Time to get ready for the real. And, he had this kind of weird, like, puzzle-solving, quasi-speed, kind of like art schooly take on Sonic and this and that. And that guy got lit the fuck up in the comments, and so much, he had to take the video down because he was getting so much shit like, what are you doing? Do you realize a Sonic with dots for eyes? Not saying it's a good idea, but Sonic with dots for eyes, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then, he took the thing down. Of course, somebody re-uploaded it somewhere else.
They probably re-upload it with fart sounds in the background and so on. Just make the guy sound even more like an idiot.
Like the guy, he didn't seem like an idiot. He was a well-made video. I just didn't, and he didn't have like a bad idea on game design. It was just something that didn't need to be in Sonic, if I had to be 100% honest. But I don't like his version of it being a Sonic game. For another game, it would have been fun. He was like doing like some weird kind of quasi Castlevania style game that's a little bit more artsier and it had like a Sonic aesthetic, but it was a little bit more of like art schooly looking Sonic. Not as like. He's not already that super detailed, but very minimalistic, like just dots for eyes and weird kind of other quirks,
I feel that the weird thing about Sonic, though, is I always felt like the game already has been dialed into like what is perfect for Sonic, and I don't know why it's like we can't just have more of that, because that's what I feel like. What I almost like the most in Sonic is if I play Sonic Adventure 1 or 2, and you're playing just the Sonic the Hedgehog levels. It's that right there. I know it's just kind of a roller coaster ride, and I know that that's kind of like exactly mostly what's going on and everything like that, but that to me is always like, I'm just having a good old time, and even if I'm like, maybe only playing the game really realistically, I'm like, sort of like autopilot takes over half the time, and then I kind of make decisions here and there, like, I don't care. Like, that's what I always thought was super fun in Sonic and so on. It's just like just going on these big old just levels and cool stuff. Because like sometimes like the worst thing in Sonic is like whenever you get to one of those levels where it's like, oh, let's stop and move slow for a second, or let's do this. Like, yeah. I always feel like no. I mean, I get from like back in the day, they're like, whoa. Like, if we have it where Sonic's running fast the whole time, like, our levels just go by so fast and so on. But I feel like they've kind of figured out how to make them kind of better. As that was a Dreamcast issue, but by this point, just do that. I don't even care if the game's like that. The game doesn't have to even be that long. It could be just a normal length, like 8-hour game or something like that. But just have it be like just almost like give me all filler, or all killer, no filler. You know what I mean? Like,
just as the Canadians say.
Yeah, exactly. Just hit it hard right there and just go with it. And then like if you want to put Tails and Knuckles and all that stuff in there, they play exactly the same. They just have their own special moves. Like it's simple. It's just like Sonic 3. Or Sonic and Knuckles in 3. Like that's the perfect way to like design Tails and Knuckles. And it's like it just feels like it's like you guys already did it right. All you gotta do is just expand on what you've already done.
Well, I also feel like they can't land on a thing for Sonic. They keep changing up his character. They keep changing up the world. It's not very concise. Like, okay, so they're not on Mobius anymore. They're on Earth now with no explanation really. And I mean, I guess you could probably read comics for an explanation, but those are separate. And then then suddenly we're back in like Sonic Heroes, and it's all kind of like Saturday morning cartoon, and there's no other humans around other than Robotnik. Oh wait, no, now we're in Shadow the Hedgehog, where it's like, might as well be New York City right here. And then we're going back to Lost World, which is like suddenly it's a Disney movie. You know what I mean? Or not a Disney movie. I guess that one counts too.
Yeah. Well, Lost World's the one that was like, hey, Mario Odyssey's kind of popular.
Yeah, I was thinking. Are you thinking
about
Unleashed? Unleashed, because you go to these other countries and they all look kind of like Disney characters, kind of.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's
humans.
And this is the many of things that I always feel. This is the downfall of sort of having a committee. There's a time and a place to have like a group discussion and a committee, but sometimes at the end of the day, I think you almost need to let one or two people just like have the reins and be like, no, you guide this ship. There was actually a quote that I sort of liked out of the Will Smith book that came out recently that his dad sort of had said, and I thought it makes kind of sense. He's like, because he was from like the military and whatnot. It's like, if there's two people in charge, everybody's fucking dead. If there's one person in charge, you're gonna get to the end. And it's just the thing is that like you get too many voices in there, then everybody gets fucking confused, and then nothing goes which way but loose, and then you're all fucking dead. But if you have one person commanding, it's like, well, we're following this one direction. Even if it might not be the right way, at least we're on a charted path.
Sega needs just to put that on like the wall in their meeting in quotes, like Big Willie Jr., Big Willie Sr., you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that.
His name's literally Will Smith, so.
Really?
Yeah, Will Smith's technically.
Makes it easy to remember.
Yeah.
Makes it easy to remember.
Will Smith's like Will Smith II, but he's like, but my dad didn't call me Junior because he's like, no, you're your own man. You ain't a junior. but that's like the kind of way you feel. It's like that kind of thing. That I think that's why lots of times when it comes down to even like other stories, like why I like the comic book version and some like manga versions of stories a lot of times is because you only have one person. There's not a bunch of people standing around trying to tell you how to do your fucking story in a sense. Not saying that can't happen, but at the end of the day, you generally are getting like the one vision, and sometimes the one vision I think sometimes helps out for storytelling and just making something happen. Now, it's not saying that other people can't throw in good ideas, but I think sometimes it's like just like movies and so on. Once you get like 20 people trying to tell you how to fucking drive your ship, sometimes it becomes just like too much backseat drivers.
Like Office Space. Like, did you get the TPS reports? Like 5 people come by telling you the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I changed the color of his pants in this animatic. I already did that. Okay, great. Because we're changing the scene up. All right, great.
So it's just like one of those ones. I don't know. As I said, I hope for the best with the Sonic Frontiers. I mean, they did great with Mania. I'm surprised there's not a Mania 2 yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, another stupid Sega of Japan decision, so I hear.
Yeah, because it's like one of those ones like that. That just felt like that setup. Just be like, hey Sega, you want a buttload of money? I mean, like shit. Streets of Rage 4 did like super good too. Why is there not more like Golden Axe and all that other stuff now? I mean, Streets of Rage 4 felt like it took forever to come out, but
still finally got here and it was good.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like, it's like the certain games Sega's kind of put back out like seem to be doing really good. The Panzer's Dragoon remake, that did real solid, and I think all in all, for as much as the Panzer's Dragoon can, it's just one of those ones. And I feel like even just having like the Sega games on like the new like kind of Nintendo's like internet program thing or whatnot, like that still puts it in the hands of certain people that probably would always have bypassed it, because you could put out a Sega Genesis collection, but I'm going to say this, unless a kid's actually like a retro gamer or something like that, they're just going to bypass on that. That's just going to look like old people video games to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also the idea they put it they put that in the Prime with the Nintendo 64 thing. That's also probably going to be like, well, only a senior citizen can afford this with their Social Security check. So here you go. Let's make it a Prime membership thing.
Yeah, but at least it's like it's there because mostly, I mean, I can't imagine who doesn't have that if you're going to like for a lot of those kids that play online, because you got to have it to play Smash Brothers online. So you already have it. Might as well try some of the games out. I think that's sort of the thing.
Do you need that thing? Because there's the standard, and then there's the Prime, or not Prime, whatever, the other version where you're allowed to play N64 Sega. Do you need that version to play Smash Brothers online too?
I thought that's what it was. I thought it was an upgrade. I didn't think that like you really had a choice, so you had to upgrade. It's not like I didn't think they had.
No, it's not like that. It's like it's a separate thing. It's like you got to pay extra money for this thing over here to play games that are over 30 years old.
But yeah, it's like one of those ones like that's like in a sense. I think in the longest run though, I mean, if you still already had your membership paid up, I think you could stick with the $20 one for the moment. But when you go to re-update, you have to get the $50 one, because that's just in a sense. It's no different than PlayStation or Xbox or so on like that. I
just don't like the idea of like, I don't know, that's just That just sounds kind of ridiculous to me. It's like these games.
Well, you're not paying for the games. You're not paying for the games. That's the thing that people like. It's always like when people bitch about like the PlayStation Plus free games. I always think it makes me laugh so hard. I'm like, one.
Well, I'd like to finish what I was gonna say first.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, these games, you're not just paying for the games. You're paying for Genesis games, and you're paying for 64 games. Which now they're making those, they're gatekeeping those and putting those behind another wall when you know it's probably as easy to put as in the other ones. I don't know why they suddenly have to up it up as much as they were before they these are games you could already get for like $5 or whatever back on the Wii, or 15 depending on the game. I just don't know why we're still, because they're not as like I think it's a little too expensive for what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, that's the thing is I just go, it's once again, and that's not what you're paying for. You're not paying for those games. Those games that's the bonus. You're paying for the online services is what you're paying for.
You're already paying for that, though. Why am I paying extra to get the N64 one?
Well, that's because they up the price in just general. So by upping the price, they gave out a bunch more games to kind of soften the blow. It didn't really work out for them but it's in a sense it's no different than Xbox or PlayStation. It's the same price as theirs. I mean, granted, there's obviously more games on PlayStation, Xbox online-wise, so I mean, there's that kind of argument. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's tit for tat. That's I think that was sort of what it was. As Nintendo knew at some point, like, they're gonna have to charge because the Wii U you could literally play online for free, but that only lasts for so long. Somebody's got to get paid to keep those servers going and things like that. So
I understand that, but I guess
that's
I understand that pricing goes up, but I honestly think they're overcharging for the service, especially when it keeps crashing and you keep on losing data from games and all that.
I've never had any problems with any of it. It's always worked solid for me. I love those N64 versions. To me, feel like they're like the best versions of them. I mean, granted, I know you could run on an emulator and do all kinds of scaling.
That's actually the better example. You could get these games on an emulator and whatnot. You can get them to other areas. They're not as. I feel like they're coveting these games and making them more than they are. Don't get me wrong. I love N64 games. I'd love to have this thing. I just don't want to pay more for it. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like one of those ones. I already have the Xbox one. I already have the PlayStation one. I have the Nintendo one. It's one of those ones, like, I feel like that's just kind of like, it's sort of there. I mean, yeah, granted, once again, Xbox and PlayStation definitely do give you more, but...
That's the thing, yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, like, it's cool to have some of those N64 games on there, and even, like, the Genesis versions, that's some of the best versions of those games that they have, so I'm like... Whatever, as long as they just keep adding games. That's my only thing, is I hope it's... Because that was the only thing about the SNES and the NES ones, is like they only added games like every 3 or 4 months. And the last handful of games they kept adding, it's like, quit adding this. It's like they kept putting these stupid, like, popular European games in there, and it's just like... Granted, there's probably somebody over there in France who loved the fuck out of some of those games. I get it, but like in America, it's like we almost need some different ones than the European ones. Like we got to do that old-fashioned thing where we split it up between 3 different areas. Because if Japan gets their own, I think America and Europe shouldn't have the same one. Because those tasting games are almost a little bit kind of different there. But it's almost that weird thing where they're putting out kind of some interesting games where they'd put some games where like, oh shit, here's a game that probably never saw the light of day very well, kind of a hidden gem one. But then there's be some other ones that's like, okay, here's one of these games that looks like almost like what a parent would have rented for you in a sense back in the day. It's like, well, at the end of the day, I mean, I already know I own a SNES Classic and I already own the original versions on like the system's on, but you might as well just put the big heavy hitters and finish those ones off. Like, why not? Because I do love those Switch versions of them. Like the Switch versions play so smooth. I like just the quick saving and all that kind of stuff on there and so on like that. I mean, it's like an emulator, but at least I don't have to boot up an emulator in a sense. It's just like it's right there on my Switch. But as I said, if they keep doing the 64 games on there, that would be pretty sweet. Because, you combine that with the N64 controller, it is pretty darn cool.
No, I get the appeal. Maybe I'll get it in time. Right now, I'm just kind of like,
It might only cost...
I just already paid this much for this. I already paid this much for this service. I already paid this much for that service. Do I really want to tell? And I know in the long run, it's only like $50 for a year. But
yeah, because that's the thing. It's like you think about, you break it down. It's like $4 a month, and it's like the way I look at it, like. Okay.
I just don't want to give them the power. That's all it comes down to. I just don't want them to win.
It's like one of those ones. It reminds me of like when
I already paid enough. I already paid them enough on other things. This is the one thing. Like, no, you bend to me. I'm tired.
It's like, it's always what makes me laugh when people bitch about like the PlayStation Plus games. Like, because I always see that every once in a while. People are like, the PlayStation Plus free games this month is like, I'm gonna write a hate mail to Sony and so on. It's like, and I always want to be like, I almost want to go over there, slap the guy across the face, be like, yo, one, you ain't paying for the free games is like, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. It's not what you're paying for. You're paying for the online thing. I mean, everything else is kind of like a come on and so on. And secondly, you're paying like $3.40 a month. $3.40. Go fuck yourself if you don't like the fucking games that month. You know what I mean? Like, that is literally nothing. Like, it would cost you more to go to the arcade. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. It's like, people just like, they just bitch about free shit all the time. Like, I don't know what it is about that, you know. As I said, probably Nintendo could have they probably could have raised their prices at a little bit more of like an increment, I think. If they would have went to like, say, $30 first and then $40 and climbed up. You know, it's always such a sticky wicket to like raise your prices. I mean, like, whenever Netflix raises their service like $1, like a fucking dollar, like, people flip their lid. And my favorite part is the people that probably flip out are all the people that's like, I always want to go like, fuck you. You probably have like, you're probably making like $70,000 plus a year. Go fuck yourself. That you're gonna.
It's always those.
It's always those fucking people that have like the good job and everything like that. And here I am, the person probably making the least amount of money out of everybody, and it's like, I can still fucking buy it. Like, I still find a way. Like, and I don't give a fuck. It's like, it's $1.
I just don't want to play their games. That's all it comes down to. Really, I know it's not that much more money. I just don't. I just know there's easier ways and cheaper ways to get the game out there, but they don't want to do it because they know that people are nostalgic, and I'm not going to play their fucking game.
And Nintendo has always done that to keep their value of their games. Like, where Sony practically throws their games out in the trash out in the backyard because their games literally go like,
what's this Crash Bandicoot shit?
They literally go dirt cheap on their system, and that's just the Sony way. Is that Sony's like, you know, in with the new, out with the old. Where Nintendo's always kind of kept like, no, we polish the old ones. We make sure that they're legacy games, and I always kind of give Nintendo respect for doing that because that's always what keeps their games at like a high value. So if you have a Nintendo collection, your games do not go down in price like certain Sony ones do, and so on like that. You know, you literally still have like, you can pretty much go out and sell any of your GameCube games for probably the price you paid for them. That's pretty good. You know, with inflation and everything like that, that's a pretty good, like, you know, turnaround and so on like that, you know, and that's almost because of the way that sort of Nintendo kind of keeps their games like that. And it's not that they kind of there. I mean, the new Xbox way to do it is just you give them all out on that fucking pass, which is almost I think everybody else is probably going to cave into that one because, yeah, it's like, the Xbox One, that's the best fucking deal in the world. Like, if anybody bitches about that, they should get fucking stabbed in the face with a knife because it's like, dude, for like, especially if you shop smart, shop S smart.
The next press meeting.
Yeah, and you buy right. Like, I bought my Xbox Live service with the Game Pass, the Gold Ultimate, for $100 for the entire year. You know, $100. That's fucking it. That's less than the price of 2 brand new games, and you're gonna get.
I get the math.
You're gonna get a crap ton of games. I mean, and like just the fact that they give you Halo, they give you fucking Age of Empires 4, they give you all these just fucking big heavy hitters right off the bat. You know what I mean? Plus that Xbox Live, like, or the Xbox not live, not the live, the fucking. I just drew a blank on what it's fucking called. Whatever. All the games they fucking have on there and so on like that. Like, that's the thing. It's like, that's what's making Sony. Sony's going to come out and do that because they got their Spartacus or whatever the fuck they're going to call it. They'll probably change it to something else. But their service is going to come out, and that's probably going to be pretty solid too. So I just kind of assumed that, like, hey, pay that little bit extra, get some kind of cool stuff. As I said, the Nintendo one's one of those ones, like, yeah, like...
There's too much at all once, but it's also a very Nintendo move at the same time.
Yeah, and I'll say it's like, it only cost me $30 to upgrade on it, and I got, like, in a sense, I mean, granted, I own all those games already. There's always that kind of factor, but whatever. I have them on my Switch now. That gave me like 30 new games, or 30 games to play on there. Cool versions of them. And there's going to be something new. You know what? I'll enjoy it. I don't know what I mean. I hope those Sega ones will start coming out with some more interesting ones. The last kind of like set they had, I was like, oh, okay, it's some of those other kind of games where you're like, yeah, Dynamite Heady. That's a weird fucking game.
I got the classic collection, so I think I'm pretty good on my Sega.
Yeah, it's just these versions though. It's just they just play just even more dialed in. I don't know. It sounds weird, but like it's the same with the SNES ones too. It's like those SNES versions of like, you know, when you're going out there playing like Donkey Kong Country and so on like that, like super fluid. Like my playthrough experience on all those games is like awesome, and that almost makes it worthwhile in the long run too. And even the NES ones too. If you combine with like the fucking NES little wireless controller and so on, and like the experience is definitely top notch. I mean, you are kind of paying a premium for it, but I feel like it is pretty cool.
I might get down the line. But yeah.
I feel like I'm here pitching it like I should like the fucking sales rep.
Is
for,
there
Nintendo.
is there a guy in a Mario costume behind you pointing a gun?
No, I just love Nintendo that much.
Master Chief there with him too.
Yeah, well, I love Master Chief that much too. I love all of them all. Fucking suck any of their dicks. You know what I mean?
So glad you asked.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, fucking shit. After that latest Master Chief experience, you're like, oh, so fucking good. So fucking good. More of this, less of everything else, you know? Shit, the only thing that would have topped that experience off, and I kind of get why it's not like this, but it's just having split-screen co-op in the campaign. You can play split-screen co-op on the multiplayer, which is fucking badass, but having that in the campaign...
Now that's such a fucking generation thing, kids. Be like, ew, split screen, what are we, in the same room?
Yeah, I know, like... Well, my favorite part is, I love when, like, it's one of those ones, like, when you get, like, MVP on, like, a game, and... you're playing it like almost in like more of like a either playing it split screen, lower resolution, you know, older TV, what have you, and you just think about, you're like, there's some fuck out there with the newest version of the system on like the highest specs and everything like that, and he fucking lost to me on my thing, you know. I even think about when I play it like on the cell phone. Like I was playing some Halo online while I was like killing time the other day, and I was just playing on my phone, and I got like MVP on there, and I'm just like thinking, I'm like, I got MVP on my cell phone playing Halo. There's somebody who's sitting at home with their fucking Xbox Series X, you know, and all the bells and whistles and everything like that, and they still couldn't get it. Like, I feel like it's one of those ones, like, can you get any more handicapped than, like, using it, like, on a cell phone and streaming it?
Maybe dial up in 97, maybe? I don't know.
That'd be like,
happen.
That'd be like when I hooked up my Gears of War 2 to fucking dial up and I was playing online. I remember that was like, I was pretty proud of myself. I'm like, dude, got Gears of War 2, got my Xbox 360, hooked up the dial-up. I mean, come on, how many people have done that? But yeah, no, as I said, hopefully that Nintendo thing will just come out with, as long as they just kind of keep pumping out the games, that's all I care about. That to me will make it, you know, well worthwhile. Is if there's like a, you know, an N64 and Sega Genesis games, hopefully more than one a month, but at least as long as there's something a month, not just like every 3 months or 4 months willy-nilly whenever they fucking feel like it, you know. And if they keep putting out other stuff too, you know, Game Boy Advance games and so on down the line, you know, I feel like that's kind of like what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like the services of like, you're gonna pay Xbox, you're gonna play Sony, and you're gonna play Nintendo, and that's just where like the majority of the newer games are gonna kind of take place on.
Yeah, well, it all adjusts and changes the time, so we'll see where it ends up. Everyone's got to have their streaming service that includes for games too now. So, but yeah, you know, is what it is.
But yeah, good times in store always in the game world and all kinds of fun stuff. Said, looking forward to that Sonic Frontiers. Yeah, that'll probably be one of those ones. That one, along with the new Pokemon, some interesting stuff coming out next year. But beyond all that good stuff, that's probably a good place to wrap it all up at. You know, go to oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, comic books like Pizza Boys, all the old animations and other fun stuff. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunnigan.
And we'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.